How do you feel about the idea of a fourth Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie?
You better be matured. You better have some babies,
Ah,
something,
funny that you say that.
because I don't want to see him trying to reprise his role like he just picked up from Spider-Man 3.
If there was a aged Peter Parker, you would like to see a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie again.
I wouldn't like to see it.
Okay.
I would see it.
So, what the general consensus is out there, what the Russo brothers are teasing with this photo is Avengers versus X-Men, possibly for Doomsday. So, now that I showed you all that, do you see it?
Sure. I saw Jesus in my coffee this morning too.
Did you? I was talking about Bad Bunny. He was announced as a Super Bowl halftime show performer for next year's Super Bowl.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But the rest of the world apparently lost their fucking minds.
This one guy, bro, he's like, you know what they need to do is get Metallica in the show.
What?
Now, dude, I like some Metallica. I
Yeah,
have a wide,
sure.
but I don't want Metallica at the 2025 Super Bowl show. They still sell out shows, bro. I'm sure they do.
Right.
They're like almost 60. If it was 1995, sure.
Right.
Have at it.
And it can't be the language barrier, because last year I couldn't understand shit they said at the Super Bowl, and that was supposedly in English, right?
It was.
So
I
it's definitely not that.
But here's the good news.
So what is it like?
You know, I think it has something to do with the R word. Adrian. Not the one we're not supposed to say, but the other one, the racism.
Right.
All right. Welcome to Only Comics. I'm Mike. That's Adrian.
What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
Good morning.
How we doing, dude?
Lovely.
It is, dude.
We're back in the summer again, apparently.
We are. For a couple days.
For a couple days. All right.
Bro. Speaking of what's up, remember those old Super Bowl commercials with the Budweiser from what's up? Remember that shit? It just died out of nowhere, dude. Out of nowhere.
Because it was fucking annoying to begin with.
It was, dude. But speaking of the Super Bowl, dude, you heard Bad Bunny's host.
Yeah.
I was talking about it last week. Dude, when you travel for 2 days, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start another podcast while Adrian's gone. So I did that. So if you haven't checked that out, check out Mike Check drops every Wednesday. And like I said on that podcast, the rest of this stuff ain't going anywhere.
Right.
I'm just doing more, Adrian.
Hey, there you go.
You got to. But I was talking about Bad Bunny. He was announced as a Super Bowl halftime show performer for next year's Super Bowl.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Dude. But the rest of the world apparently lost their fucking minds. So
I think it's a
going
vocal
on around
minority, Adrian. I think that's what it is.
Come on, dude. I mean, everybody's a minority.
True.
Even the people that hate the other minorities is the most minority of all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very vocal, small group of fucking idiots.
Right.
But I mean, that's life, though. There's idiots everywhere, right?
It is everywhere.
Now, are you a Bad Bunny fan?
I am not.
Okay.
I mean, I like some of his music. I just don't consume his music like other people do. But I love the fact that he's different. I found out a lot of stuff around this controversy. So part of his deal was, no ice within certain fucking distance of the place, whatever. That's cool.
Yep.
Found out that Jay-Z owns that shit.
Yep.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that for him. Found out that there was a rumor going around, and apparently it's just a rumor that Coke pulled out. So like, hey, if Bad Bunny is going to do this shit, we're going to pull out. And Pepsi like, hey, cool, leave, because we'll take over your shit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So the rumor is false from my understanding.
Yep.
But just think about the impact of if it were true. So you have a political statement, right, about an event, which means that they think they have more political clout than they do, right? So if it were true, Coke would have pulled out of Super Bowl, Pepsi would have took over. Now, people underestimate the impact of the minority dollar. Grossly, they misunderstand and underestimate. So I just got back from Europe a couple weeks ago, and Coke is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like everywhere. So if they would have did that, think about just the Spanish-speaking communities around the world. We're talking Spain, we're talking, Puerto Rico, we're talking Mexico, we're talking literally everywhere, right? How that would have impacted them. But again, like I said, from what I understand, it was just started by somebody blogging some bullshit just to start some controversy. So there's that.
It's funny you mentioned Jay-Z. Jay-Z, here we'll go both of us. Shit, there we go. Bam. Jay-Z and Rock Nation, they have been involved in this halftime show since 2019. It's when the NFL brought them on board. and I could be wrong about this, but I think it was a ripple effect of the whole Colin Kaepernick, Neil, like they realized like, bro, the NFL is leaning a little bit too one way.
Right.
Let's get let's add a little color to the mix here,
Right.
you know? And Jay-Z has really shook up the halftime shows. I mean, 2020, you had Shakira and J-Lo. Everybody lost their mind about that, right?
Right.
I can't believe they're up there dancing in their underwear like that. I'm like, bitch, you know you was on some app this morning looking at some other shit. Like, knock it off, bro. Knock it off. Now you want to...
Is it because of they were dancing in their underwear, or you got some 50-year-olds dancing in their underwear? Okay, they were 43 at the time.
Hey,
whatever,
dude. But yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it had more to do with where they came from.
There's that.
Funny thing about Bad Bunny is Bad Bunny was part of that show as well. He was a guest, so it's not like he's never done this before. And then Jay-Z had The Weeknd in 2021, who's also from Canada. So you go, get someone who's a citizen. He's from Canada, by the way.
Right.
Nobody had an issue with that.
No.
2022, you had Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick, 50 Cent, Anderson .Paak. 23, we had Rihanna, pregnant Rihanna. Remember that?
Yeah.
Then we had Usher the following year. Had Alicia Keys as a guest.
Who couldn't keep his hands to himself.
And then Kendrick Lamar last year with SZA, which I thought absolutely killed it. And then we got Bad Bunny next year. So Jay-Z, dude, I think that Rock Nation is doing a good job with the halftime show, in my opinion.
So at what point are people going to say, where's the white people?
Oh, they're saying that now? Oh, yeah. Like it hasn't been for years. Like,
right.
And also, why does it matter?
Apparently does.
Why does it matter what color skin they are?
Come on.
On either side, though.
Come on. Yeah,
you know?
Come on.
That's the argument, right? On the other, why would it have to be? I don't, why does it matter at all? But who knows?
Who knows?
I think we all know.
Yeah.
But I there's a lot of people that were upset about the whole Bad Bunny thing. And, I did a video talking about it. And there was this one guy, bro, he's like, you know what they need to do is get Metallica in the show. It's like,
what?
Now, dude, I like some Metallica.
Sure.
But I don't want Metallica at the 2025 Super Bowl show, bro. Right. What are they gonna do? Play Enter Sandman on repeat? Like, I mean, kind of cool, but not for the Super Bowl. But fuck, like, they still sell out shows, bro. I'm sure they do.
Right.
They're like almost 60. If it was 1995, sure.
Right.
Have at it.
And it can't be the language barrier, because last year I couldn't understand shit they said at the Super Bowl, and that was supposedly in English, right?
It was.
It's definitely not that.
But here's the good news.
So what is it, Mike?
I think it has something to do with the R word, Adrian. Not the one we're not supposed to say, but the other one, racism.
Right.
Because it always goes back to, at least, I shouldn't say always, I shouldn't generalize, but at least the interactions I've had, it goes back to, why don't you get a U.S. citizen? Then me and a bunch of other people online had to educate others to the fact that Puerto Rico is a U.S. Territory. Correct. Now, it's a little fucked because they don't allow them to vote. They have a member of Congress that doesn't have a say. Right. Imagine that. Like, but hey, it's a US territory.
Aren't there? Isn't there a panel of U.S. congressmen that basically run Puerto Rico? I mean, it's not. They're not really a state, but they kind of a state.
Correct.
We don't let you self-govern yourself, so we'll take care of it over here.
It's
fuck your
fuckery.
funding, but
Well, no, they gave them paper towels during the hurricane. Remember that?
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
It kept the power, but so you can clean your house in the dark.
Right,
or
here you can wipe up that fucking glass you spilled.
What the fuck's going on?
I heard that. Dude? I heard, then once they learned that, hey, he actually is a U.S. citizen. Oh shit, we forgot how that works. Not everybody who speaks Spanish from another country, believe it or not. And then there's also a long list of performers that were not from the U.S. either. I mean, U2, they're from Ireland. There's Paul McCartney's from UK. And then there was a bunch more from UK, and then from UK, and then from. There's a trend there.
There's a trend.
UK are not. They're not illegal if they come here without a visa. It's different.
It's different.
He's more of a citizen than the first lady. More of an American,
right?
Than the first lady. I'm just saying.
Well, but she's American now.
Yeah. Yes. And the other thing was, the whole. He doesn't speak English. Do you know, Adrian, where the English language came from?
I think it was bastardized from around all other kinds of shit, wasn't it?
Well, think about England, English. Oh. It wasn't a fucking American language to begin with. But, what do I know? I'm just a guy who does a bunch of podcasts every week, Adrian.
So, if you have a superstar personality that's made his or her living In this world, should we even use his or her? Because there's just so much shit in between.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
You're not allowed to
if
anymore.
you have a personality that made their living off of something very specific, why would you ask them to change that specificity to fit your fucking needs, right? In this particular case, you have a superstar Puerto Rican Spanish-speaking artist. Why would you ask them to an event and then change the very thing that made them who they are?
Right.
Come
so you
on,
can feel
dog.
more comfortable. Yeah.
Right. It's bullshit.
No, it's bullshit, dude. It's bullshit. And like you said, I mean, music is more than understanding every lyric. There's there's a whole other side of it too. You know, I mean, y'all were dancing to the fucking Macarena 20, 30 years ago. You had no problem with that.
Exactly.
But now we bring in, and the other thing is, you know, pulling all the jokes out, the whole reason someone like Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl halftime show, it goes back to the first actual halftime performer was Michael Jackson. Because the NFL prior to that, they would have some bullshit like a marching band or a drill. I'm not saying bullshit, but you know, not fucking all that bullshit, you know.
Hey, I'm offended. I was in a band.
Yeah, no offense to anyone that was in the fucking band, bro. It's okay. It's
Or
all
in Jersey.
Yeah, or Jersey. Imagine it was a Jersey band.
Oh my God.
But other networks in the 80s and early 90s realized Super Bowl halftime's a prime spot for ratings.
Right.
Because everybody's got their eyes on the Super Bowl, and for those 10 minutes, they're looking for something else to watch. So 1992, remember this show in Living Color?
Yeah.
Sketch comedy show? They did a live special during the Super Bowl halftime show in 92. All the fucking ratings jump over to Fox. NBC's like, oh, hell no. Right. Next year, they brought out the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. And why did they bring him out? Because he was the biggest fucking pop star in the world at that point.
Right.
And Bad Bunny, from a pop star status right now, the only person that's been close or maybe switched a couple times was Taylor Swift.
Right.
You're not going to get her to perform.
Right.
So he's the next best option. I think great decision, great choice. I can't fucking wait for the halftime show.
Right.
So anyway, that is other stuff, Adrian. But this is only comics where we discuss comics and only comics.
And some of the stuff we just discussed.
Some of that stuff. All right. So I've been working on some comic bundles, Adrian. And I had a whole shit show with the distributor last week. The one that distributes DC, they pissed me off. So, but I do have a comic bundle going for sale this week. And it's going to tie into a lot of the stuff we're talking about. So I'm calling it the Doomsday Multiverse Bundle, Adrian. There are 3 comics in here. I've read all 3. I know you've read 2 of these. The 3 comics in this package are House of M, Avengers vs. X-Men, and Secret Wars. Okay. You've read the first one, the last one, right? House of M, for me, and the whole idea behind this is I'm just trying to get rich. No, I'm just kidding. Because believe me, I don't make much off these. But when we started this podcast, a lot of people said, you know, I'm a big fan of movies, the MCU, all that stuff. But listening to you guys, I started getting into actual comics, which I think is cool. Right. Because there's a lot of, if you like the movies, a lot of the movies are based on comic book stories, right? So is it fair to say that if somebody likes the MCU, there's probably a good chunk of comic books that they're going to enjoy? Right. So I wanted to build these packages in a way that would, I guess, be appealing to that audience, the guys that love the MCU but have never read a comic. Okay. So when people go, read a comic, they could be like, I have, bitch, I finally did. But House of M, I'm not going to spoil these. I'm just going to kind of sum up a little bit. This is where Wanda loses control, right? And she bends reality pretty much at her will, which is similar to what we just saw in Marvel Zombies, right? The zombie version, but when she's at, New Asgard, and everybody's eating this big old feast. Right. And we realize that, you're just eating like dead zombie parts or whatever the fuck. So you're getting infected. Right. And we saw it to an extreme in WandaVision. I mean, she convinced the whole town that whatever was in the past is not what's going on now. They convince you that you have a different name, you have a different memory, all kinds of shit. I mean, and you saw WandaVision first and then read House of M, right? Correct. When you're reading House of M, was it just like, dude, this is fucking where they like, did you see the connection right away? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And it just, someone, I forget who it was, they asked a question about zombies. They were like, hey, Mike, have you seen zombies? And, you know, Wanda, is she really that powerful?
Mm-hmm.
Is she really that powerful, Adrian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was that powerful before the fucking zombies.
Correct.
But, you know, now we get to see a whole different spin on it.
Mhm.
And I love how they did. So you brought up New Asgard.
Yeah.
I love that spin on it. It's like everybody's feasted, like
Yes.
nothing's going on. It's just like, holy shit. Once you
Right.
peel back the facade, it's this whole different thing. So not only does she recreate these environments,
Mhm.
but she does it in a way that's so subtle,
Yeah.
and with such trickery. It's like you just fall into it because you want to,
Right.
You know, as opposed to like she's just changing the room from fucking color to black and white. Then you got to figure out the rest.
Yeah, dude. I mean, think about that level of power to be able to impact that many people, all while still being herself, right?
Right.
Still having conversations, still not like she's hiding in the background doing this.
Right.
She's out there. Like, I mean, what about when she sleeps, dude? Just I don't know. Obviously, it works.
It's still going on.
Just like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, she was, you know, we saw a lot of that House of M type of stuff going on there with her power.
Right. Even for her to manipulate him.
Correct. Yeah, like remember when he first shows up to where she's at and doesn't realize that everything's burnt to shit. It's, you know, wherever the fuck she was. But
So it's not like it's not that she's, in order for that to happen, think about this. You go to a house and the house looks like something. You walk into the house and the house still looks like something. You didn't walk up to the house and just because you were near the house, it changed into something else. You walked into this whole illusion.
right.
So she had changed the environment as he's coming there.
Correct.
For him to be convinced.
Well
that he's
beyond where she was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's fucking power, dude.
Correct.
And manipulation. Think about how she has to roll that shit out in order to convince you that you're in this whole different environment. Fucking genius.
Yes, dude. That's why I know I am a Wanda Glazer, Adrian. So I don't want to speak for you, you know.
Wanda or Batman, number one?
Batman, but Wanda's number 2 right now. Yeah, it's a close second. I'm a Batman. You know, dude, I mean, look at this shirt, bro.
Just checking.
Look at this shirt, bro. So House of M. Now, you've not read Avengers vs. X-Men.
No.
I think you would really enjoy it. And it does, without spoiling much, I mean, these are old comics. I'm sure a lot of you have read, you know, or heard of, you know, some of what happens in these. But House of M's known for the whole no more mutants, right? She erases mutants from the face of the earth for the most part. But the thing about that comic is, in Marvel Comics after that phrase, what she did there, impacted stories for years to come because there were no more new mutants being born for a long time. And then you flash forward to Hope Summers. She's born. She's a mutant. There was some time travel shit, I think, with Cable maybe. I don't know. But Avengers vs. X-Men starts with the Phoenix Force returning to Earth. And let's just say the Avengers and the X-Men kind of clash on how to handle this because they all know that this Phoenix Force is going to Hope Summers. They all know what happened when Jean Grey had the Phoenix Force in the past in the comic. All that stuff's canon, right? So they're like, we got to do something about it. And let's just say they don't all agree. Some of them want to just get rid of her, right? I mean, Phoenix Force is coming. It's going to cause all this kind of destruction. You know, we feel sorry for the girl, but if we get rid of her, no Phoenix Force, right?
I mean, or you could have stopped the fucking Phoenix Force before it got this whole
True.
I mean, you know it's coming, so do something about it before.
Yeah.
That way, nobody's involved.
But I think they know that it's easier said than done when it comes to the Phoenix Force, which you see in this comic. So that's a great one. And then that leads into Secret Wars 2015, the third comic in this package. This is where we're heading in the MCU. In this comic, essentially the multiverse collapses. The cause of that is your boy. You see his helmet right back there. God Emperor Doom himself. Well, that's regular Doom, but God Emperor Doom creates Battle World. You read this for the first time, what, like a year ago?
Yes.
But you grew up on the OG Secret Wars.
Correct.
How did you feel about this one, 2015?
I thought it was cool. It made it relevant and relevant. And since, you know, in both DC and Marvel, they've rebooted.
Yeah.
It makes sense to have done this as well.
Yeah. And what happens at the end of this comic, I won't even tell you. Let's just say you got a multiverse when the comic starts and you got something else at the end. And it does sound like that is going to at least be somewhat of the blueprint for where the MCU's going in the MCU's reboot. So this package, you can get it at onlycomicsmerch.com. If you were to buy each of these comics from any retailer, it's gonna, or if you were to buy this package somewhere else, it'd run you $100. I'm able to do it for $69.99, not $67, like all the kids say. You hear that at home yet? The $67. No. I don't pray, Adrian, but I pray it doesn't hit your house. It's a new trend. But anyway.
Wait a minute. Is that preceded by like a question? And then somebody say like 6, 7?
No, it's just anytime those two numbers are mentioned or seen, it goes back to a song, goes back to a basketball player made some comments after, I think a high school player made some comments after a game, and then it got into a song, and now it's just a trend. It's, oh my God, 6-7. So
whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, but it's not 6-7, it's $69.99, so you save $30. And the only way I'm able to do it at that price is not hold inventory. So the link is live. It's going to be live for a couple days. Get your orders in. It is going to be somewhat of a pre-order, so you won't get it in 2 or 3 days, but I can get it to you at that price. If you are interested, check it out. If you're not, fucking don't. It's all good either way. But I just know these are 3 of my favorite Marvel comics. And, if we're putting a package together, that's what we're starting. Listen, dude, you do whatever the fuck you want to do, Adrian, It's what it is. All right.
I love it. Buy my shit or don't.
I don't really. Yeah, I mean, it's. Hey, I have the accounts. It's one of those, if you don't use it, you lose it type shit, which is pretty much what happened with the fucking DC one. They try to slash my rate in half, so I'm like, fuck you, I'm not selling your shit.
All right. Or you can look at it this way: if you're gonna buy this shit anyway,
that too.
Buy from Only Comics.
Sure.
If you didn't know these things existed, now you got a package.
Correct. Absolutely. That's a great point too. Yeah. If you're going to buy it, why not buy it from us? Just like, hey, if you want to buy that Doom helmet, I don't sell it personally, but I got an Amazon affiliate link.
There you go.
Hey, buy it here. I'll make like $2, dude. Right. Fuck, help me out. Shit. Trying to keep the lights on here. Anyways, all right. News and rumors. Adrian, there's pandemonium right now. I like that word, pandemonium. You ever use it like a regular sentence?
Not recently.
No, it's an old word.
You heard earlier how I just rolled specificity off my tongue. It was just like, I haven't used that word in like years, but it just came back. Like riding a bike.
You didn't even need anyone to tell you how to say that. That's good. That's good. Same with pandemonium. I didn't need anyone.
Love it.
And if you don't know what pandemonium, I actually looked it up because I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page. And then maybe when I'm done giving you this news, you can tell me if it was a valid use of the word, Adrian. So pandemonium is a wild uproar because of anger or excitement in a crowd of people, okay? So also a chaotic situation. Now, how does that apply to Only Comics? So last week, the Russo brothers, they released a photo, okay? One fucking photo that caused some pandemonium. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go to laptop. Boom. All right, you see this, Adrian?
Yeah.
This is the photo they released. That's one of the, I don't know if, I think that's Joe, maybe, one of them. He's sitting down. And the caption said, "Look hard," meaning that there's probably some type of Easter egg in here, okay? Does anything there stand out to you?
No.
No.
Except that he looks like fucking in Godfather when Al Pacino dies at the very end and falls over out of the chair.
Okay. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. So I'm gonna show you. Now, I can't take credit for this because other people online, they discovered this. So now let me back up. During the promo for Endgame, they did something similar. Set photo like this. I don't have it. I don't need to pull it up. Most of y'all have seen it already. And that photo, if you looked at some of the shapes and how things were positioned, the word Endgame was hidden in the photo. Now, I think this was maybe before they even named the movie. Okay. So that being said, people have taken the same approach with this movie, is looking for messages that are hidden. So people have said they think they saw TVA in the photo. So you see, you got that kind of big platform there. Maybe there's a V there somewhere. Yada yada yada. all kinds of shit. People thought that it was Galactus's helmet. People thought it was Fantastic Four. But the one that I've seen that I think is legit ties into actually the comic books we were just talking about. So right here, there's an A. Feel like an A to you, Adrian?
Now it does.
Now it does. Okay, that's the first piece. Now we're gonna go back. You know what? I'm just gonna bring up the final photo here. Let's see. Bam. All right. So there's an A here, allegedly. There's a V here. Okay. You see this little light back here?
Mm-hmm.
It's shining over here. And what the fuck does that look like?
A circle with a plus in it.
Or an X. You tilt your head a little bit. So, what the general consensus is out there is that what the Russo brothers are teasing with this photo is Avengers versus X-Men, possibly for Doomsday. So, now that I showed you all that, do you see it?
Sure. I saw Jesus in my coffee this morning too.
Did you? Okay. Now, who knows? That could be it. It could be something. I think if we're using the same math that was mathing on the Endgame photo, then there's probably a hidden message in here with text, right? So, and with what we know so far, you know, it's not just about the photos. What we know so far about who's going to be in this movie, you got Avengers, you got X-Men, you got past X-Men. So would it be crazy for those two to have a disagreement on some things and possibly, you know, go, let's take this outside type shit?
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy, do you?
Always about a girl.
True. So there's pandemonium, Adrian, because everybody's losing their, oh my God, it's that. So do you think that's a valid use of the word pandemonium?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So anyways, they said look hard for clues, and that's what most people are gathering, that it is Avengers versus X-Men. Now, whether that's true or not, I'm going to assume that it's true. I think an Avengers versus X-Men is a great story to be told in Avengers Doomsday? Absolutely. Because, first of all, this movie's probably going to be, 2.5, 3 hours long?
Right.
Something like this. It's not going to be just an hour and a half. You're going to need to have some time to introduce Doom.
Right.
I'm not one of those that says, oh, well, it's too soon. It's too quick. How you just jump into Doom with no build? Because I go back to that point I make all the time. Movies for decades were never attached to other movies.
Correct.
So when you saw a movie, you were introduced to just about every movie has a hero-villain element to it, right?
Correct.
Good versus evil, there's a problem, there's a dilemma, something. Most movies back in the day were, hour and a half, right? We didn't do 2, 3, 4 of bullshit. In that movie, you're introduced to the hero, you're introduced to the villain, you're introduced to the problem at hand and all the supporting characters, even to a point where in this one movie, you connect with certain characters so much that they're off in the movie and people are getting emotional.
Right.
And you just met them on screen fucking 20 minutes ago.
Right. The Matrix.
There you go.
Who the fuck knew who Neo was and all this other bullshit? Then you had the storyline. Then you had the problem. Then you had the solution. Boom.
And that's heavy. Like the content, the whole concept of that. And you know, I shit on the Matrix, half joking, but I understand the impact and why everybody loves it.
Sure.
And what that concept that was introduced, that wasn't just like, a rehash of another movie where it's themed, that was a whole new idea.
Right.
So if you can do that with movies for decades, why can you not do that with Dr. Doom, who I think one of the keys is having an awesome character, right? You have a good character, it's easy to get that character across on screen.
Right.
Dr. Doom's a phenomenal fucking character.
I think the problem with comics is that because they have a legacy, they want to regurgitate that legacy every time they do a movie.
Don't need it.
And it's absolutely unnecessary.
Yep.
Just stick to what you said. For decades, introducing everybody in the movie, going through the fucking thing, getting to the end, so on and so forth. Just because it's out there, that doesn't mean you have to introduce it every time you do a movie.
One of the best things about the Batman, besides him, okay?
No. I thought you was going to go somewhere else, but then you brought up Batman.
No, besides him.
You kind of fucked it up with that.
But one of the best things about that movie is it's year 2. We don't have an origin. We don't need to see how he became Batman and how he made his little, batarangs and how he made his first suit and, the parents died. We didn't need to see that. We've seen that shit fucking dozens upon dozens of times.
Right.
Now, I know I'm a bigger The Batman glazer than you are, but do you feel that there was a void in that movie because there was no origin story?
Not at all.
No. Like, imagine how, the movie would have been 5 hours if you had an origin.
Right.
But it gives you more time to tell more story. So,
I mean, if you're going to do an origin on him making that fucking car.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see.
Right. It's funny you say that. There is a book. It's not a comic book. It's an actual short novel. And it tells the story of that Bruce when he's younger and when he's building this car.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was heavy into racing and shit like that. It's actually a cool little story.
Cool.
So you could do shit like that. Hey, you want more backstory?
Right.
It's out there. It's in the form of a comic book or in the form of a novel, graphic, whatever. But why I think that, I do believe that is Avengers versus X-Men in that photo.
Okay.
I think that's the message there. Just if I'm looking at what they did with Endgame and why I think that will make a lot of sense in the movie is, think about this. The X-Men that are going to show up are X-Men we know, right? From the Fox universe.
Sure.
We don't need an origin there.
Nope.
The Avengers that are going to show up are Avengers we know. We don't need an origin there. Doom is the one we need maybe some background. You can have the Avengers and the X-Men fighting each other, having a conflict, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and then half the movie's that, and then the other half is Doom's motives and origins and things.
Sure.
My point is it will allow Doom time to breathe in this movie if you have a conflict going on with these other two groups off to the side.
Yeah.
So I like it, dude.
Sure.
How do you feel about it if that's the case?
The storyline, all that kind of stuff, that's cool. However, I do believe that the storyline is absolutely a waste of the word pandemonium. So you're not creating pandemonium.
Damn.
With some hidden shit.
Okay.
I actually saw Batman's cowl behind the fucking thing, the little ears sticking up. So whatever.
You think Batman's gonna cross over into this?
You never know.
Okay.
Russo brothers, you never know.
Yeah. Okay, I accept that. I'm not going to be upset at you, Adrian. I'm not going to go, Adrian said this and he's wrong. We all have our opinions. So,
there you go.
But I do have more Avengers Doomsday rumors for you, Adrian, since you asked. Not that you did. I knew you were gonna, though. You're like, what else? What else?
What else you got, Mike?
So, Ghost Rider is rumored. Now, we've heard this rumor several times, but it's a new rumor, or from a new person. Ghost Rider will appear in Avengers Doomsday. And the belief is that it will be a new actor taking on that role, not your boy Nicolas Cage as Johnny Blaze from the mid-2000s. New actor, Ghost Rider, appears in Doomsday. You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do too, dude. Ghost Rider. You did Ghost Rider as a hidden gem.
I did.
And you talked about the different versions.
Right.
But the one thing that stands out to me from that hidden gem was that whole penis stare. Not penis stare.
Right.
That's a different kind of stare.
Yes.
The penis stare.
Correct.
Sum it up. What's the penis stare? People that don't know.
The penis stare is, so you did a bunch of bad shit in your life. What it does is it condemns you within yourself of all the bad shit that you've done in your life. So he can use it on any entity up to and including Galactus. So imagine that bullshit.
Dude, one of the baddest moments in the comics that I've seen with the penis stare was in Devil's Reign. Ghost Rider uses it on Kingpin, and it has no effect. He's like, okay, and like, yo, fucking Wilson Fisk is a savage above savages.
Yes.
Holy shit. But when you described it, it reminded me of my first day at catechism, Adrian.
Okay. I got to hear this story.
So, I mean, you know a catechism. I know you weren't raised Catholic, but were you raised in any religion?
No.
No, none at all.
No. Well, actually, that's not true. I was raised Baptist. As most Southern people are.
Is the most.
Most is a big word, but anyway, pretty much everybody around me was raised Baptist.
Okay. I was raised Catholic. My mom's side of the family, her mother was full-blooded Italian. Father was full-blooded Greek. He was Greek Orthodox. They were Catholic. The wife always wins, right? So we were raised Catholic, but we were raised like bullshit Catholic. Like I mean, bro, we had crosses in the house, you know.
Yeah.
We had rosaries and shit like that. We ain't never went to church unless somebody was getting married or somebody was doing their communion and shit like that. So I was put into catechism to do my communion because that's what you're supposed to do, even though I'd never stepped foot in the church prior to that for Sunday service.
Damn.
Whatever.
You didn't go like the, required once a year to maintain your membership?
I probably went on Easter once or twice, yeah. But it was, it was a fucking joke. So anyways, we get there and it's old school nuns, bro. Old school nun. We're in this classroom. And I mean, you start catechism at, I don't know, like fucking 5 or 6 years, like first grade, bro. And then they start talking about hell. They literally start right there.
Oh, yeah. To get you in line, they need to scare you, make you afraid of shit first.
They talk about sins. They're like, you all have a soul. And every time you commit one sin, there's a little black dot. And then there's another. And I'm thinking like, dude, I'm only like 5, bro. And my shit's probably half full already. And like, cause I'm thinking like she's telling us the truth here, right? And then she's like, anything you've done, even if you stole $1 out of your mother's purse, like little shit. I'm like, they literally are making us feel like we're all going to hell.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, so that was it was like the penance there, dude. I'm thinking like I'm adding them up and trying to visualize, well, if that's a dot, and if my soul's the size of my body, like, dude, I got about 2 years left and then I'll be right in hell. So anyways.
At 5.
Yeah, at 5. So you know what? Needless to say, Adrian, I'm not a practicing Roman Catholic anymore.
Wow.
But that was my penance there. So. And then you realize that other members of the Catholic Church practice the penis stare. So there's that too. Are they going to hell or are they not? I don't know. But, we're not supposed to talk about religion or politics, so.
It's interesting that, all that talk was about the, what do you call them? The men in the church.
Yep. The priests. Yes.
Nobody talked about the nuns.
Ooh.
That's other stuff.
That is other stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. Altar boys were popular. Let's just put it that way. All right. Another rumor about this movie is the heroes. They're going to be using Cerebro to search for Franklin Richards. So it seems pretty obvious, or maybe it doesn't, but to guys like me and you, obvious that Franklin Richards is going to play a big part of these next 2 movies.
Franklin... Was he classified? I did a hidden gem on him, but I don't remember if he was classified. I think he was initially classified as a mutant, but then unclassified as a mutant. So they technically wouldn't be able to use Cerebro to find him.
Well, you can find humans with Cerebro
That's
too.
True. That's true.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as his power, so we've already seen at the end of Fantastic Four when Sue, pushes Galactus back into the black hole and dies, he relives her.
Right.
So his power at, not even a year old is already bigger, more powerful than most people in the Marvel universe, period. Right.
Like he literally has control over life and death.
Yeah. And he is like 6 months old.
Yeah.
So imagine when he becomes a kid, a teenager, an adult. Holy shit. What you see in Fantastic Four comics, especially the Jonathan Hickman run, you see a lot of Valeria and Franklin's powers. And Franklin is holy shit, dude. It's a whole nother level. So it's not crazy to hear that he's going to be the one that everybody's looking for.
Sure.
He also is very integral to the end of the Secret Wars comic too. So that's part of it. And then they also said that, but we may see a Bucky variant suit up as Captain America in the Void. That sounds pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of people that they've been clamoring, agents. Fucking vocab. Clamoring. They were clamoring at the fact of Bucky being Captain America because it does happen in the comics.
Sure.
There was a whole divide when Sam Wilson was given the shield in Endgame. A lot of people felt like from a storyline standpoint, it should have been Bucky. How do you feel about that?
I think that they did it proper.
You did? Okay.
Even though I didn't like the idea. What I didn't like about the Sam Wilson thing is that they made him both. And they should have just moved him over to the Captain America thing, which basically said, okay, well, we're not going to really make you Captain America. You're this fucking hybrid thing. You're this mud of a thing. So you're not really either one of them. and we can move you however we want to move you. So we're not going to give you complete ownership.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to let you pretend that you are so that we can take it away from you later, which
Okay.
is what I don't know if he makes the decision or they take it away from him, but he does go back to the Falcon role and then the Captain America thing gets split. But I think the progress, how they progressed it is proper. And then if Bucky ends up with it later, that would make even more sense.
Okay, so you didn't have a problem with Bucky, but you didn't think it like they should have went to Bucky first.
No, because I mean, there's a lot of shit around him. He's basically a fucking assassin,
correct,
for 50 years, right?
Yeah,
killing off prominent people. They don't even know the people that he's killed, nor do they know how to deactivate his ass. So there's that whole controversy around him. So probably not the right time to put it's like making fucking the Joker Batman, you know?
right. His first day out and shit.
Exactly.
Like
I'm out of Arkham again.
He just got released. Like we saw Diddy got 4.1 years, bro. The first day he gets out, we're not going to invite him to the house, bro. You know,
exactly.
We got to see how you're going to act first, bro.
Wait a minute. So he got 4.1 years out of all of that?
Yes. Yeah.
Damn. But so he's already been in jail for 2, something like that?
No, it's probably been close to a year, probably. Yeah.
So then, they're going to lawyer that shit down to probably house arrest for the remaining time.
Dude, he's probably going to do 2 years.
Probably not even in jail.
Yeah. Yep. So, hey,
and whatever.
I mean, I think on that one, they've just fucked up on what they were going after him for. They're trying to get him on fucking Rico.
No. That's the great magician trick. Mm-hmm. They weren't going after him for that anyway. They were going after him to get the shit that he had evidence of for all these other kind of people that they didn't want to get out there. This is just a process.
Yeah.
Just a process.
Now
dude.
that file's in the same file as the Epstein, or same drawer as the Epstein files.
No, that shit is in there in the Smithsonian with fucking redhead giants and Noah's Ark and shit.
That's other stuff. All right. So Bucky, I agree with you. I think when, everyone was saying that, it shouldn't have been Sam, should have been Bucky. I'm like, dude, have you not been paying attention since Winter Soldier?
Right.
The dude, first of all, he off Tony's parents. Like this, he's a little fucking unstable, bro.
Right.
His mama ate a lot of fucking Tylenol when she was pregnant with him. Holy fuck.
And again, you don't know how to turn that shit off.
Right.
Give him a phone call, play some Taylor Swift and shit, and he's gone.
Start saying that Russian shit, and all of a sudden he's fucking whacking motherfuckers, bro. Although Wakanda knew how to fix him, Adrian.
Sure.
Of course they did.
Of course.
Yeah. See a trend there at all?
Yes, I do.
You do. Other people may not. So then the last piece of Avengers Doomsday rumors is that Black Swan will make her MCU debut in Secret Wars, which I'm a huge fan of.
Just the ballet?
Huh?
Is this the movie about the ballet?
That's a good movie, by the way. No,
it is.
It really is. No, it's not, unfortunately. But Black Swan is a character that is integral to this whole road to Secret Wars in the comics. She is one of the last of her people when an incursion hits her Earth. She actually escapes, and then she's recruited into the Black Swans, which is an organization that we later learn is ruled by Doctor Doom. So Doctor Doom in this road to Secret Wars basically becomes a god before he becomes God Emperor Doom. Under a false name, no one knew it was Doom in the beginning, and he created a religion around himself, and the Black Swans were also part of that, spreading that message of their worshiping this godlike thing, and then they find out later on that it was just Dr. Doom the whole time.
Sure.
It was Doom the whole Agatha all along? No, it was fucking Victor all along. Victor Von Doom. So she arrives in Earth 616 during the first incursion, and she was captured by the Illuminati. They keep her in this cube, this jail, trying to figure out what the fuck's this bitch doing here and what the hell's going on. So really cool character. So I do hope that she shows up. All right, moving on. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. It's back. It's actually it was back in theaters this past week, all 3. I said I was gonna go, but been busy, dude.
Right.
Fucking busy. I didn't go. But I'm a big fan of at least the first 2 Tobey Maguire movies. We ranked our Spider-Man movies recently, and I think you had these up pretty high as well. It has been almost 20 years. It was 2007 when Spider-Man 3 was released. How do you feel about the idea of a fourth Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie?
You better be matured. You better have some babies, something,
Funny that you say that.
because I don't want to see him trying to reprise his role like he just picked up from Spider-Man 3.
Okay. Yep. No. All right. So that's not the rumor. You kind of hit the nail on the head. There's a rumor out there. So all right. Before I get into this, if there was a aged Peter Parker, you would like to see a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie again.
I wouldn't like to see it.
Okay.
I would see it.
You would see it.
Yeah.
Got it. So the Batman co-writer, I got the shirt,
Okay.
Mattson Tomlin, he's the co-writer. He's the one that helped Reeves create this amazing fucking movie, this immaculate movie, Adrian.
Immaculate. That's proper use.
That's proper, yes. Man, you didn't like my pandemonium. It's pandemonium. It's like four people like, hey, are you saying it was an exaggeration?
Exactly.
Okay. So the co-writer of the Batman 2, Mattson Tomlin, he said that he's reached out to Sam Raimi. He's the director of the first three Spider-Man movies. And he said that he has a desire to complete the saga. Now, he said this several times in the past too, but he would be interested in exploring Peter Parker's struggles to balancing raising a family with fighting crime.
Okay.
We've not seen that on screen. Matter of fact, I think the Fantastic Four was the first time we've seen and now maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but first time we've seen these superheroes manage a family dynamic and have children in a movie. I don't know that we've seen that.
Nah, I don't think we've seen that at all.
I mean, yes, Tony Stark had a daughter in Endgame, but that was kind of like, stay with the kids, I'm going out with the boys type shit. It wasn't really, and he had been retired for years. It wasn't like he's actively out there being Iron Man.
Right. Retired and creating ways to go back in time and
correct.
Shit. Just the simple stuff.
He got nothing else to do. He's out there on the lake, But that was like, the universe is about to end. All right, we'll come out. But this sounds like he's just juggling these two, being a dad, a husband, whatever, having a kid or kids, and still out there chasing down, Chameleon or whatever the fuck. So for what it's worth, Adrian, they asked Kirsten Dunst the same question. And so she says that I've come to realize, this is what Raimi said. I've come to realize after making Doctor Strange that anything is possible, because he did do Multiverse of Madness. Really anything in the Marvel Universe, any team-ups. I love Toby. I love Kirsten Dunst. I think all things are possible. I don't really have a story or a plan. I don't know if Marvel would be interested in that. Don't know their thoughts, yada, 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 but it sounds beautiful. And he goes on to say, even if it wasn't a Spider-Man movie, I would love to work with Toby again. But dude, I would be all for this.
Sure. So this is nothing in the works. This is just an idea that he's making public.
Mattson is making this public that he recently had a conversation with Sam Raimi about doing this. We don't know how Sam responded. We don't know if there's anything coming out of it. So maybe he's probably testing the waters, dude. He was like, you know what? Let me put this out there. Maybe Mike and Adrian will pick it up, and they'll let us know if it's a good idea or not.
I like the idea.
I do too.
Kirsten, she's now a man.
For real?
No, not for real at all. But
Okay.
she just,
she looks different.
She looks different.
Okay. Now here's what she said. So she said, that would be cool, right? I mean, I don't know if the fans are into it. I feel like that's an interesting movie. Me and Toby doing that again, but with kids. But I think that is an interesting movie.
I think so. And I think it brings, it makes it, like we talk about in like Daredevil, some grounded stories.
Sure.
I mean, people go out, they have kids, they have to juggle life and work. But if your work is superheroing, then you got to juggle that too.
Right.
So and we talk about the Matrix with the fucking Matrix move and shit.
Oh yeah.
And the whole premise that we're living inside an artificial world.
Because we are.
Those are groundbreaking things. I think this would be the Fantastic Four has already kind of cracked it a little bit.
Right.
They're not struggling with it. They're just beginning with it. But to see a family, a superhero family dynamic in an active environment would be cool, would be groundbreaking, I think.
Absolutely. And it'll be a little more grounded because, yes, the Fantastic Four, they're dealing with it, but they're also dealing with it from being the fucking most popular people in the world, right? Like Reed is rich. They have everything.
Right.
So they
Whereas
are
Spider-Man in some situations is wanted and hunted.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah. So it's a lot more ground level, street level.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'd be for, and I think that seeing how they managed it in the Fantastic Four movie, I mean, it's like Hollywood, dude. They see it works here. It's a little bit more of it.
Sure.
Which makes sense. They don't do too much. We don't need every comic movie having a family, but where it makes sense. We also saw a little bit of this in the Spider-Verse movies, right? Because the other Peter Parker from the other dimension has the child dealing with the MJ stuff, you know, taking the kid out to other fucking universes. This is a Peter Parker shit, bro.
Yeah, right.
Like a lot of, I know you're unlucky, but you set yourself up too, motherfucker. You do some dumbass shit.
I mean, how the fuck? I mean, a perfect example. How the fuck you take your kid to another universe? It's crazy, dude.
He took the kid to a universe like I would take my kids to the park when they were little.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'll be right back. Like,
yep.
So, but my point is, we've seen it and it's worked in doses. So why not, dude?
Yeah, I'm all for it, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're gonna go back to those stories, do them the right way. Like you said, they're now a lot older. Then fucking make a story about them being a lot older. Don't pick up right where 3, left off. So last time we've seen, I mean, it was 2007, and then Tobey, returned for No Way Home back in 2021. And this is a shit. Hey, Sony, you guys own Spider-Man. Fucking use Tobey Maguire. Right. Use Andrew Garfield. There's fan bases around both of them. You don't have to be in the MCU.
Right.
Let the MCU cook. You fucking cook over there. Be more than one kitchen, bro.
Now, does the release of these Spider-Man put Spider-Man over like an Avatar with the release? And number 2, is this going to be a fucking trend? I mean, are they going to release Scarface again to the movie theater and Jurassic Park 1 and all this dumb shit?
I hope not. No. But it's funny you mentioned Avatar because I got some news about James Cameron. So Avatar 2, that came out, I don't know, a couple years ago. It was 2022. You seen it, didn't like it. You loved the first Avatar movie. It
Absolutely,
was like one of your top movies.
Yep.
I have not seen part 2. I honestly, I looked at it. It was a trailer test for me, Adrian. I did like the first Avatar. I do think that it, for a lot of reasons, but because of, at the time, how groundbreaking the visuals were, more than the story.
Right.
The story to me is Pocahontas with fucking blue aliens and shit. I mean,
Pretty
in a
much,
nutshell,
pretty much. Yeah.
Like, just like I think Black Panther is a Lion King story in a way.
Sure.
Which is not a bad thing.
Are you saying that because it's Africa?
Yes. No.
Damn.
No, just the whole story of, Killmonger coming back and basically being Scar and taking over the kingdom. Right. So I at least got Lion King, but not in a bad way. I didn't feel like they, copy and pasted. But in Avatar, I'm like, dude, a lot of this feels like Pocahontas. Right. Which is fine.
Sure.
But the visuals at the time were like nothing we've ever seen before.
Absolutely.
But now we've seen that and then some and then some and then some.
Right.
So with the second one, I don't know that, and you've seen it, I didn't, but what I saw in the trailers didn't seem like that much of a visual jump from things we've already have right now.
Right.
It didn't seem as groundbreaking as it just seems like a sequel to the first one.
It was just exactly that, just a sequel to the first one. There was no groundbreaking visuals. I hated the fact that it was essentially, to me, a war movie. There was absolutely no reason other than the fact the guy was popular in the first one. The guy that hated everything. Yeah. They resurrected him. Oh, God. And then the other kid, one of the kids was his son. It was just a crock of shit.
Yeah. So Avatar 3 is getting ready to come out this December. Are you at all interested in seeing this?
No. The only way I would really see that is if I see something in the trailer that piques my interest, like the first one did. I won't go see it just because it's just another fucking Avatar.
This movie was filmed back to back. So 2 and 3 were filmed back to back. Okay. So the original came out in 2009. Then you waited 73 years to make the sequel and film them back to back just in case there was another long delay, right? This is called Fire and Ash. I've seen a little bit. I saw one trailer. And it seems like they're ditching the blue for red this time. So Fire and Ash, a lot of old, red theme now. They did 2 blue movies, now they do a red one, I don't know how to make these fucking decisions.
The next Avatar is they live in a fucking volcano.
Yeah. Then they'll do a yellow one for some reason. I don't know. But the fourth movie is dated for December 21st
Wait a minute.
of 29.
The third movie.
Oh, no, the third one's coming out this December.
Wait a minute, there's a fourth one?
There's a fourth and a fifth one, allegedly. Now, Cameron said this like years ago when news of the second one came out. He kind of pulled like some George Lucas. Yeah, I got like 12 movies planned in my head. Like, no, you don't, bro. Stop. No, you don't. Anyways, third one comes out this December. Fourth one is dated for December of 29. And then the fifth and final one is set for December of 31, Adrian. 2031. So here's what he said, though. This news, so as much as that news may have not made you happy, this news might, because he says that the next two are not guaranteed. He said the big swing in all this is, do we make any money with Avatar 3? I mean, we'll make some money, but the question is, what's the profit margin? And basically, is there enough money to justify doing another one, or is there a way we can bring down costs? I think what he's alluding to is when movies look like that, they ain't fucking cheap to make, right?
Absolutely not.
It's the only reason we haven't made a movie yet.
Right.
We don't have fucking $100 million. No one's giving us $100 million to make a movie.
Yeah, but what it took, so they had to create computers. My understanding, they had to create the computers that they needed in order to create the Avatar look. First of all, he had put this thing on the books like probably I think a decade or some obscene amount of time. Yep. He had the idea long before the technology was available for them to do it. Then it wasn't really available, but they could make them. So they had to like make shit in order to make these visual effects. Now you could probably do this shit on your iPhone.
Right.
So they should be able to crank out these things relatively quickly. So it's not really, so the budget, it probably flip-flops is what I'm saying. You know, you go from, costing $50 million in computer shit to probably costing $50, to make the same bullshit. But it's not really the cost of making it. Well, there's the cost of making it, but it's really, are people really going to want to fucking see 4, 5, 13 of these things?
And I think that's kind of what he's. I think it's a little bit of both. Yes, from a VX artist standpoint, that shit is not cheap anymore.
Right.
Like they're paying a lot of, and the turnaround. They want these movies to come out every few years, right? So it's going to cost you a pretty penny. But I think what he's saying is we need to justify, to your point, do people even want to see this? Because he said, we'll see if we make a profit on Avatar 3. Well, the only fucking way you're going to make a profit is if enough people go watch the movie to justify making a movie for that budget, right? Because you got the budget, and then you got the marketing spend and all that shit. The movie costs you $180 million to make. There's still another 30, 40, probably 50 million in there in other shit.
Right.
So you gotta return enough to justify making 2 more of these motherfuckers. And I don't know. I mean, I'm probably very biased because I didn't see the second one. I have no interest in it. And the other thing was, when I saw the first Avatar movie, I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah.
No part of me felt like I needed to see more of this story, though.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like,
Correct.
It's like Beetlejuice. Leave it the fuck alone.
Right.
They fucked that shit up 6 ways from Sunday, as they say.
The other thing is that he is going up against a growing interest in comic book movies, which people do want to see, which there are reasons to make 200-300 of these comic book movies.
Right.
I mean, you can make 200 or 300 Spider-Man comic book movies, Batman movies, Superman, well, maybe not Superman, X-Men, Avengers. I mean, you can make hundreds of these things and they would never get boring. The only thing that would make them boring or uninteresting is if the directors decide to put their own spin on it or some dumb shit.
Yeah, I mean, with comic book movies, you don't have to steal the Pocahontas story because you got tons of comic stories already.
Exactly.
So, anyways, I don't want to wish bad on any director, any movie, but I have almost no intention on seeing Avatar 3. Something I'm going to tell you in a minute, though, that maybe changed my stance a little bit. But
I would see it if it's interesting, just like anything else. Like, I knew Beetlejuice was shit just when they announced it, I knew it was bullshit. Dude. It's like bringing back Gremlins now. It would make zero sense. You had an audience for that thing.
They're bringing back Gremlins, Adrian. They're doing another Gremlins movie. So I think Beetlejuice could have worked. Damn. I think the problem was you've not seen it. Beetlejuice, the second one. Mm. It was just the story. It was a shit story. Like you could. I think it's risky because Beetlejuice was so good, in my opinion.
Right.
To do a sequel years later, you got to have a badass motherfucking story. It has to be better than the first, as a fan.
Absolutely.
And it's not that, like this movie, the second Beetlejuice, if it came out on its own and wasn't attached to anything, I think it still would have been a decent movie. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it had this movie before it that was amazing, and then you put this like very mediocre movie, it makes it even worse.
Right.
It was like the Godfather 1, phenomenal.
Right.
Imagine if they followed up and The Godfather 2 was on the same level as The Godfather 3.
Right.
You'd have been like, fuck is this bullshit? 2 and 1, they're so, like, depending on who you ask, a lot of having that split, half the fucking world thinks the second one's better, half the world thinks the first one, but those movies are on everybody's like greatest fucking list.
Absolutely.
So you have Beetlejuice. Now, I'm not comparing Beetlejuice to The Godfather, but from that type of movie, that Halloween, that like, dude, Beetlejuice is a classic.
Right.
And then you go put this bullshit out. It's a lot to live up to, dude. And I think that's part of the issue with Avatar, too. You have a lot to fucking live up to. But James Cameron, dude, he's got a handful of big box office movies. I actually thought there were more, to be honest. So what I did was I pulled the top 5 of his movies. So, like to rank things, play games, whatever. Yeah. Have fun. It's fun with Mike and Adrian.
There you go.
Everybody needs to loosen up a little bit. Everybody's so uptight in this world nowadays. You get that vibe?
No, because I don't pay attention.
Okay. But they are. I've seen them out there. It's like everyone, they want to be mad at everything. You said this. Everybody fucking just relax. That's what we're here for. Help you relax with fun with Mike and Adrian.
There you go.
So, of his movies, he has 3 movies that have done over $1 billion. Okay. And I'm going to list these movies, and then we each are going to give our top 3 favorite James Cameron movies. Okay. All right. So, starting with now, honorable mention, the movie Aliens, 1986 Aliens. You've seen this, right?
Honorable mention?
Yes, that's number 6 from a box office. We're looking at box office standpoint. So
honorable mention for his movies.
His movies.
Oh, okay, because that's a classic right there.
What? I've never seen it.
Of course you haven't. That's okay. You know what? I'm so over that. I'm not even mad about it. It doesn't even register a heartbeat anymore, dude.
Got it. But okay, let me ask you this though. There's a lot of things I've not seen.
Sure.
You've heard them.
There's a lot of things I haven't seen that you have. Like, fucking Power Rangers.
Damn. Is this a movie, Aliens, 1986? Is it that good that I should scratch that box?
You should scratch that box.
For my segment that we kind of lost sight of here, this one, I should watch this movie.
You should watch that movie.
Okay. Is it a good Halloween season movie?
It's a good anytime movie, but especially Halloween.
Okay. So you know what? I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm going to, right now, I'm going to tell you, Adrian, I'm going to tell everybody watching, I'm going to watch Aliens before the next time we do Only Comics. So that movie at the worldwide box office did $183 million. It's fucking nothing. It's bullshit. Number 5 for James Cameron is True Lies. It's your boy Arnold.
Yep.
This was 1994. This movie did $378 million at the box office.
Love that movie as well. I'm surprised it did so much more than Aliens.
Yeah. I think it was the time too, though. It was 86.
Well, because Aliens spawned this whole thing with, the whole Aliens franchise, the whole Predator franchise, the whole Alien versus Predator franchise, which is still going on today. True Lies, no, it didn't spawn anything. It was a good movie, but it was just a singular drop in the stone drop in the pond.
Did that then spawn into How to Catch a Predator, or is that a different series?
Probably.
Okay. True Lies, $378 million. Number 4. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, 1991. In 91, this movie did $500 million, dude. $520 million worldwide box office. There was pandemonium when this movie was released.
More correctly used.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to find one, Adrian, before the end of the day. You remember this movie dropped, 91?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The graphics on that,
Oh,
come on.
shit. Do they hold up to this day? The
Yes.
action scenes,
Yep.
how well it was written,
Mhm.
even taking someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was not, at that time, the greatest actor in the world, but
Right.
knowing what you had
Mhm.
and writing the character so that he didn't look bad.
Right.
He played that robot role fucking amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing. And it was a great contrast from the first Terminator movie.
Mhm.
The first Terminator movie is basically a horror movie.
Right.
Dude's walking around. A lot of it's POV, right?
Mhm.
He's just walking around fucking killing everybody.
Right.
And then the second one becomes this action movie. I even think with some heart in it, right? The whole John Connor, the mother relationship, all that shit. Like
Mhm.
it was amazing how that evolved from the first Terminator to this.
Right.
Number 4, Titanic, Adrian.
Mm.
2.2 billion in 1997. Now this includes some reissues because we know James Cameron likes to make 5 movies and release them 10 times.
There you go. There you go. Put your boy Leo on the map.
Yep. I mean, Leo at this point, I think he was known as a good actor, but not as a blockbuster actor yet,
Sure.
right? He'd been in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Basketball Diaries. You ever seen that movie?
Never saw either
Dude,
one of
that
those.
is Basketball Diaries is a phenomenal movie. Leo's, I don't know, probably fucking 16 years old in this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's based on a true story. It's about a high school basketball player who's hooked on drugs too, like hard drugs. I don't know if maybe it was heroin.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that, this kid's struggling with, obviously he's got a fucked up upbringing to be on heroin in, your high school age. And he's a really good basketball player, and he's dealing with the whole struggles that come along with having a fucking drug addiction while you're trying to do other things. But phenomenal movie. All right, so Titanic, 97, 2.2 billion. Number 2, Avatar, The Way of the Water. The second one, this came out in 2022, 2.3 billion. And as everybody knows, the number 1 movie of all time, because he keeps re-releasing it because he doesn't want fucking Avengers Endgames to have that title, even though they should have the title. They should have the title. You should not include reissues when you're doing this.
No.
That's bullshit. So in my book, Adrian, Avatar is the number 2 movie of all time because motherfucking Avengers Endgame is number 1 because I am Iron Man.
Did
I'm not, but
James Cameron make Avengers?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, so we're talking about his shit though, right?
Yes. But of his movies, the number 1 movie is Avatar 09, 2.9 billion at the box office. All right. So what we're going to do is give you our top 3 out of these James Cameron movies. So it's the best of the best, our top 3.
Right.
I mean, you can use Aliens if you want. 6. The rules we're rule fluid here.
Sure.
Adrian. So my number 3 of all of these movies right here is going to be the Titanic.
Okay.
My number 2, I'll just give my 3, you give yours. My number 2 is Avatar.
Okay.
My number 3 is Terminator, or my number 1, I'm a fucking numbers ain't numbering today. Number 1 is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. It's one of my all-time favorite movies of all time. So, what you got?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Here, let me give you the camera.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Aliens 3,
Okay.
Terminator 1, 2, and Avatar 1.
Okay. Terminator 1 over Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Then it's the first.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you like the first one more than the second? What is it about it?
Because it's groundbreaking. We never seen anything like, basically a robot going around doing all this shit, the whole time travel element. It was the first. I mean, the graphics in the second one was cool.
Sure.
That was definitely groundbreaking for the time. It was like a Matrix or Avatar 1 on the graphics and the visuals. But the first is just that, the first.
Got it. So there's a connection here, Adrian. There's a bigger connection than you would believe about James Cameron, Avatar, the MCU. Okay. So the first connection is Endgame is the biggest movie of all time in my book, because when it was released in the theater, it did more than Avatar. And then James Cameron congratulated Marvel, and then his bitch ass put Avatar back out like 5 times so it could be Endgame. But who cares? Everything's not a competition, right?
Nah.
But to me, it's number 1. Anyways, Avatar Fire and Ash. The name just rolls off the tongue. Doesn't it sound great?
Sure.
No, it doesn't. There's a rumor, a scooper on Twitter says that we will get the first look of Avengers Doomsday at the Avatar Fire and Ash movie. So there'll be a preview, something at that movie. Now, Avengers Doomsday is set to arrive December 18th of 2026. Avatar Fire and Ash is set to debut in theaters December 19th of this year. So a year before. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It almost makes me want to go see Avatar 3, but I don't. Mm-hmm. Imagine showing up. Imagine if I did this, showed up, watched the trailer, and then just got the fuck out of there.
So when Deadpool and Wolverine came out, didn't people show up just to buy the fucking shit from the popcorn stand and leave?
True. But they didn't have to buy a ticket. I'd have to actually buy a ticket, and I'd be part of this box office. So so that's how it connects. But my question for you is, we're obviously going to get a first look at Doomsday at some point, right? Mm-hmm. It comes out in a year. I know that I don't want to see too much in that first look because I think one of the things that movie Hollywood studios have done for a long time is spoil too much in trailers in general, right? Like, we don't need to spoil shit. Just give me enough. What are some things, though, on that? Or do you feel the same way?
So I think that if we've never heard of this movie before, give me some trailers.
Okay.
But if you've been promoting these similar movies for decades, Iron Man, Batman, blah, 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 you don't need, you can just put out Avengers versus X-Men, text on a black background. It's done.
Okay.
That's your marketing right there.
Less is more.
Exactly.
With comic book movies, specifically MCU, because the shit's been around since fucking
Exactly.
08. That being said, they're not going to go that approach. They may not go full spoiler, but what are some things you would actually like to see in this first look? Like, a glimpse of Doom's Mad. Are there something where you're like, you know what? It's not going to spoil it, but here's something I want to see.
I don't know what I want to see.
Okay.
I know I want to be intrigued.
Yeah.
I want to be made like I feel like I want to go to see the movie. But what I'm not going to say is I want to see a glimpse of everybody that's going to be in the movie, because save some of that shit for the movie, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to see the major story arcs. Save that shit for the movie too.
Yep.
Just intrigue me. That's all. That's all. It's like when I go shopping. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking for until I see it.
Right. Yep.
But I'm also not going to spend 800 days in the store looking for something either.
Yep. I don't know what I need from Target, Adrian, but when I go there, Target will tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately.
And they're going to tell me in 30 seconds or less.
Yes. All right. So that's what you don't want to see. So play a little contrast. I'm going to tell you what I do want to see. I agree with exactly what you said, though. Don't spoil the plot. What I'd like to see is this. Whatever you're going to show me in the trailer, limit it to the first 20 minutes of the movie. Don't show me shit that happens halfway through the movie, because I hate having this feeling. I'm in the movie. I'm in the movie theater. It's about a quarter of the way through. Certain characters they're in peril, Adrian. They may die. But I know that I saw a trailer with a scene with that character that hasn't happened in the movie yet. So I know he's not dying right now because this scene's going to happen, right?
Exactly.
I don't want that.
Gotcha.
What I think a first look should be essentially that, a first look. Don't give me any plot points. Don't give me any details. Show me what some of these new costumes are going to look like. Okay. You're going to do a comic accurate X-Men this time. I want to see Cyclops. Let me see it. Just show me that. I don't want to know what the fuck he's doing. He could just be fucking flying a jet somewhere. Don't tell me what he's doing. Just show me. I do think we should get some look at Doom. I don't think we should see Victor Von Doom's face. I think we should see the Doom mask.
Sure.
Maybe the end of it ends with fucking him putting the mask on. Boom. I don't want to see a lot. I would like to maybe see a little bit of an incursion. Just see what it's going to look like.
Okay.
But little bits and pieces, no plot points, no major fucking cliffhangers, a little bit of Doom. Don't show me Robert Downey Jr.'s face. And don't fucking spoil any big moment. Listen, guys, we're going to go see the movie.
Right.
We don't need shit. We're going to fucking show up. We don't need things to make us want to see it any more than we already do.
That's a good point about the Robert Downey Jr. face. Do we need to see it at all?
No.
Exactly. So who gives a fuck about whether he has a Tony Stark goatee or not?
Correct. Now, do I think we will see it at some point? Maybe through flashbacks. Maybe there's a big reveal where we see, but it needs to be disfigured.
Well, but you also know that when they do flashbacks, especially specifically to younger people, they always have some other person.
True.
So the person behind the mask, that face isn't necessarily like they're probably not going to show you a young, unshaven Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. as a young Victor Von Doom. You know, they probably show fucking Neil Patrick whatever as a young Von Doom, right? Then cut over to something later.
Now that I do not want to see. So what do y'all think? What would you like to see in the first look? I know there's a few people. I want to say John Bon Von's one of them who they're like, I'm not watching any trailers, which I commend you.
Right.
I cannot control myself, Adrian. I'm going to have to watch some trailers.
Yeah, but you also don't know when that's just going to pop up. So what's going to happen? Fucking Avengers. I gotta
go. Shit, get the fuck out of here. It's a green hood. No, I don't want to see it. All right. Moving on. Daredevil Born Again. There are 2 seasons in the works. Daredevil Season 2 is in the works. Daredevil Season 3 is also in the works. We've heard about a handful of characters coming back. We know that Kristen Ritter's coming back as Jessica Jones, which we talked about that. Mike Coulter is set to reprise his role as Luke Cage. Okay. Big fan of that as well. I mean, you almost can't have... You shouldn't have Jessica Jones without Luke Cage in the MCU.
Well, because Jessica Jones
she wants to hop
infers
on that thing.
Defenders.
Yes.
And there can't be Defenders without the other 2.
Correct.
Or the other 3. Being Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you can leave Iron Fist out.
Yeah.
Especially if it's being played by the guy that did it before.
True. But these 2 are there. They're connected in more ways than one.
Oh, they're connected.
Yeah.
Mostly at the hip, but.
Yes. So, she's going to want her boy back, right? So, but there's another character who I'm a big fan of in Daredevil in general, but definitely her portrayal in the Netflix series is Elektra.
Yes.
That's another one where I feel the same way. Like you shouldn't have Daredevil without Elektra. Mm-hmm. Is that a fair statement?
Ultimately, yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's like saying you shouldn't have Batman without Catwoman.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need Catwoman around all the time, but ultimately she has to show up.
She's got to be there at some point. Yeah. So the rumor is the same scooper that says this about the Doomsday first look taking place at Avatar also says that they have confirmed Elektra's coming back. We're not sure if it's season 2 or season 3 though. So remains to be seen. Now, so I think that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. The writer for Daredevil Born Again season 2, his name is his or her, I don't know, Jesse Wigo.
Well, let's see how we say that.
Wiguto, maybe. Anyways.
Wendigo.
Yes, that one. Jesse Wendigo. IGN asked him about the show. He says, I obviously can't say very much, but it's a very big muscular season, okay, that revolves around Fisk in office as mayor, a lot of political intrigue and palace intrigue, whatever the fuck that means. So and then he goes on to say, with all these moving pieces, the big canvas of New York City, at the end of the day, it's all about these 2 characters, talking about Fisk and Daredevil, that you care about most, almost the 2 face-to-face in a playground. They hate each other, but they need each other. And how do they get through that? That's ultimately what it all comes down to. And I think they've done a great job in that first season of showing that, like, where Daredevil and Fisk, they need each other.
Right.
But they're also probably, Fisk is his worst enemy.
Right.
Right. They need each other to hate each other.
Yeah.
So we're going to get more of that season 2. So I'm looking forward to it. I think, and I'm cool either way. Season 2, season 3. Season 2 seems pretty loaded with Jessica Jones, with Luke Cage, with probably the Punisher coming back. So, do we save Elektra for the 3rd season? Either way, I'm glad they're bringing her back.
Sure.
All right, James Gunn. So Peacemaker, episode 7. This is the second to last episode, Adrian. I predicted a few weeks back that we would end up in this racist version of Earth. Yep. Right, or a more racist version of Earth.
That,
yeah, because I love when they're like asking, it's like, so wait, is your universe just like a utopia? It's like, no, not at all. But anyways, James Gunn had some comments because they asked him about, basically a weird question to ask somebody. They asked about it, is he upset or is he afraid about upsetting certain people with this showcase on racist people, right? Like, who would you upset? You'd probably upset someone who's racist, right? So
wait a minute. Why would you upset a racist about showing racist stuff? Wouldn't they be happy about it?
No, because they're in denial. They're not racist. It's like, it's not, we don't want Bad Bunny to not perform because we're racist.
Oh.
It's just we don't understand the language, Adrian, and I want to be able to sing along with the songs that are played.
Oh.
Nothing to do with his race at all.
It's interesting. Racism. It's like a lot of people are like, oh, racism doesn't exist and there's no blah, blah. Racism is like air.
It's just there.
You don't see it.
Yeah.
Right? You can't smell it. You can't point to it. But when it picks up, you hear that, you feel that the hairs move across your skin. You see the trees coming down.
Yep.
And so those are two different ends of the spectrum of racism, but it's there.
So he did say we got a lot of pushback from various sources within the structure. He's really careful with his wording here. Within the structure. That would mean within the studio, right? If we got a lot of pushback from various sources within the structure. What's your interpretation on that?
That is like saying, all white people aren't racist, right?
Sure.
But you could have the corporation, or you could have the 1%ers.
Yeah.
So the structure to me is anything that contains this ideology.
Yeah.
That's how I view that.
So his response was, let's not be bashful about this. Let's just do the story that we want to do. And I don't want to have to pull punches with it. Okay. Then he goes on to say that it's interesting because there hasn't been that sort of, then he goes, I have a few racists that have called me polarizing, but I'm okay with being polarizing and letting racists fall to the wayside. People have loved this episode the most, so it's exciting. And this episode, dude, there's so much shit. I'm just going to sum it up because we got a lot of other shit planned today, and next week is the season finale, and I think we'll do a deep dive on the show next week.
Okay.
But there's shit that gets all kinds of fucked up in this episode, and we do see, and there's a crazy twist with Chris's father and brother in this universe, where his father in this universe is not racist. It's a crazy, yes. And then at the end, I mean, shit just goes to shit. But the reason I wanted to even bring this up this week is that whole, that idea that James Gunn don't give a fuck about upsetting a racist, which is refreshing. Because is this a crazy statement? There are a lot of people that do give a fuck about upsetting racists.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the world we live in. It's kind of like you said, it's like air, it's there.
Right.
We act like it's not we, but there are other people.
Right.
Because I know, dude, I have a let's say a blended family. I'm white, my wife's not, my kids are not, they're mixed, we go out places, and no one will say much because not that I'm, I'm not the smashing machine over here, Adrian, but I'm not a small guy.
Right.
So they won't say shit to me, but you can feel it. You can sense the way people are looking like, wait a minute, he's not, and wait. They won't say it.
Well, I mean, so if you go out alone, you probably won't experience it.
No experience at all.
I of course, experience it even alone.
Absolutely.
But I've even shared with friends, I'm like, listen, if we go to this place, yeah, I know you used to go into it, but even if you don't not get served, they might delay it a little bit. You know, they might put you in a different place, you know? And like when I was in Rome a couple of days ago, went to this restaurant, walked in, they barely wanted to seat us. You can feel it.
Yeah.
So it was two of them, young man, young woman. And I'm gonna pull a name later, so I'm gonna say it too, because if you end up in Rome, I just be prepared.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they said, "Do you want to sit inside or outside?" We said inside because it was fucking hot, right? We go and the guy ushers us to this girl, and she basically points to this table. They didn't even want to talk to us. That was the last time we saw him. So we sitting there, no water. Hey, here's a menu.
Yeah.
No, fuck you, nothing, right? Two white girls, young white girls, sit pretty much like from across the aisle from us.
Okay.
Pretty much where you are. We are separate. Oh my God, they couldn't get to them fast enough. The chatting, the talking, the menus. And we knew it was coming.
Yep.
But, you know, it's like, oh, come on.
Right.
Really? Today?
Yeah.
So we just casually just got up and left. Now, I'm not saying this happens. I know it doesn't happen all over Rome because we had some fantastic times. The restaurants, the people there. Matter of fact, in Italy, we heard no Italian music. None. Not only did we pretty much only hear, and I'm talking about two different towns. I'm talking about Rome, right? With all the fucking gladiator shit.
Yeah.
Then we left out of this little fishing village, like right on the coast, right? Two completely different environments. They both played not only urban music, but my shit.
Yeah.
Urban, the 80s, the 80s and 90s. I'm hearing Luther. I'm hearing Bobby. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really? They pretty much only played urban and Latin music, which was crazy to me. I'm like, I'm hearing all these songs. You would think you would hear, you know, whatever.
Right.
But nope. So I'm definitely not saying that this is prevalent because we left that restaurant and we went across the street to let me see, a place where you buy you know, some what they call it, liquid courage.
Oh, okay.
So
the packy, as we call it here in New England.
Okay, the packy. So we went across the street to the packy, right?
Yeah.
Not one word of understanding. In other words, they didn't speak English. We didn't speak, you know, Italian, obviously. However, it's amazing what you can do with some menus, pointing, some fucking grunts.
Right.
Transaction successful.
Correct.
You know, smiling, laughing. They're playing Spanish music in the fucking store, right? And we bounced. So we didn't have that experience everywhere. But being who I am, I'm more sensitive to it. I know it's going to happen.
Sure.
It's just, how does it show up and when it's going to show up?
Right.
Unfortunately, it showed up in this particular place. This was the only place that it happened in the 4 countries that we went to.
Yeah.
So amazing trip. But anyway, fuck, I'm as soon as I find a name, I'm gonna put you on blast, mother.
But that is, when I hear his comments, it backs up a lot of the shit that you're saying. Like, dude, it is there. Let's not act like it's not. And then I think why people don't, and this is just speculation, but I think why people like to act like it doesn't exist is because then they don't have to take a stance on it.
Right.
Because if it exists something to that level, you should fucking let everybody know where you, this ain't like, you know, who did you vote for? What religion do you practice? You should be able to let everybody know where you stand on that issue.
Right.
And I think the reason why some people don't is maybe they are afraid about upsetting the people in their life that they know could possibly be racist, right? It's like,
right. Isn't that like COVID, the shit, right? So this thing that comes out of the blue, and you either got vaccinated or you didn't. Right. That shit broke up families, dude.
Absolutely. Yeah, that can, then what if someone's racist in your family or your friends or whatever the fuck, and you're not, you could be on the outs with this person, right? Right. So if we act like it doesn't exist, we never have to have that discussion, right? It's not real. You just pretend it's not real. But it is fucking real. And I commend Gunn, and now it starts to make more sense why And when I say vocal minority, I don't mean from a skin color. I mean that most people don't feel the way they feel, but the vocal minority are just louder about it.
Right.
And I think you see a lot of that with James Gunn right now on social, the James Gunn haters. Everything he does, there's something wrong with it. And it's like, dude, is there, or is it reminds me of the Bad Bunny thing. Is it really that he's speaking a different language, or is it the language that he's speaking?
Right.
Right? It's two different things.
Yep.
Is it really that he doesn't live in the continental United States, or is it because of where he lives that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
a lot of it is it's not sometimes it's not skin color. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's religion. But from my perspective, it's about what Bad Bunny or these other things represent. You're gonna bring a person in that's only going to speak Spanish in America, or you got to speak English, but you don't enforce it. Like, you go to other countries, you have to do certain things.
Sure.
Like when we were in Dublin, Ireland, right? We're at this restaurant right across in this middle of town, and it's odd to sit in a restaurant that's across the street one way from a mall, right? Then the other side, there's a school. What they require when you come into to be a citizen or to be there or whatever, you have to go to this school that teaches you English. You have to.
Yeah.
Right? Matter of fact, we met a woman from Colombia in Paris. We was talking about, she just happened to be sitting next to us. She actually works in Dublin. And one of the first things that she said was, when I went there because of this, but we had to go to this school that taught us English.
Yeah.
So in America, English.
Sure.
But you don't require them to learn the shit.
Right.
You can go to places where they don't speak English at all, like a Chinatown.
Sure.
Or some other, other type of culture. You push it, you talk about it, you're racist about it, but you don't mandate it.
Right.
So what's the problem?
And think about, you're saying in Ireland, right?
Yeah.
A place where their first language is Irish, right?
I never heard in Irish. I literally only heard English.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go to, how about Germany?
Okay.
Speak German, right?
Yeah.
But English is such a well-known language. It's probably the second language in a lot of these countries, right?
I think, a lot of countries is English because of, it's the native, then it's probably English or Spanish.
Right.
But English and Spanish is typically 2 and 3.
So my point is, if this is the number 2 language in all these other countries and they all make a very, very strong effort to learn enough to do their jobs and communicate with someone who only speaks English,
right?
What is the second most popular language in America?
Spanish.
Right? Do they do they teach Spanish in school?
They do, but it's an option.
It's an option.
It's not a requirement, nor is it a requirement to speak English in America.
Correct.
If you're coming from another country.
But my point is, if all these other countries are making that concession to learn how to speak the second most popular language, is it really that crazy for everyone maybe to just brush up on a little bit of Spanish, since that's the second most?
I heard this term, like, you can't live in Texas and not know Spanish.
Right.
Well, it's not that you can't. It would be insane for you to not do that. Yet you have people like, oh, I need to get away from the Hispanics and Spanish. What the fuck you moved there for in the first place?
Right. Because that used to not be part of America, by the way.
Exactly.
And that's the other thing, dude. We're it's America. It's motherfucker. It's only been America for like 300 years.
Or whatever.
Prior to that, I mean, it was the 1700s, right? Fucking prior to that, dude, it wasn't a bunch of white people here.
Right.
Y'all were all across, I say y'all like I'm not part. We were all across the pond, Adrian. I mean, fuck. But anyways, so the fact that James Gunn he's for the cause, Adrian. He is not afraid to upset some present day Nazis. I respect it. I love it. It makes him one of my favorite fucking directors right now, honestly.
Right.
You know, I respect someone that has an opinion and is not afraid to voice it, regardless of how it may upset other people.
Charlie Kirk.
I respect the fact that
I
didn't agree.
Right, I got it.
But that's the thing where I think we need to get as a society is I didn't agree with probably 80% of the shit that Charlie Kirk said. I do think he leaned into some things intentionally to stir people up. Sure. But I at least respected the fact that he had his beliefs and he stood behind them. He didn't flip-flop every 2 seconds. And he also encouraged open debate, which a lot of people are afraid of.
That was the one thing that, like I said, when I first heard about what happened to him, I didn't even put the name with the face. I had seen a couple of his videos, probably a total of 30 seconds amongst all the videos I've ever seen of him. So I didn't even know his name.
Got it.
But when I saw him, I'm like, oh, that guy, right? What I respected about what he did was, you know, his language and or his message, and again, I know nothing about the man.
Mm-hmm.
His language and or his message may have been divisive to a degree, but what I did respect about it, what he did was this: he made a living off of getting people to invite him to their campuses. These are college campuses, and he would debate them. He didn't force his rhetoric on you just by standing on a soapbox and say blah. He just vomited some shit.
Right.
He would bring up a topic, and you were invited to ask questions and debate your point.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you weren't prepared, that doesn't. And he was obviously
Absolutely.
That doesn't make what the essence of what he did bad. Correct. Meaning the debating part.
Mm-hmm.
He invited people to a discussion.
Yeah.
Let's go. You either prepared or you're not. Most people weren't.
Yep. All right. So this episode, Peacemaker, it was short, Adrian. It was like 32 minutes.
Okay.
The reason I bring that up is you will be happy to know, maybe you will be, that next week's episode, the season finale, is 57 minutes long. Because that is one, I was actually at the barbershop and they were like, we were talking about Peacemaker and like, do you think that it was too short? I'm like, bro, for me, I'm all about the 30-minute episodes because there's so much shit I'm watching right now.
Right.
So if I don't have to watch a 2-hour fucking episode, I'm down with it. Mm-hmm. But I am glad to hear that with how this last episode ended, and all these kind of loose plot points, I do think that an almost hour episode's probably, I mean, then when you talk about credits and everything, it's probably going to be 45 minutes.
Right.
But I think that's warranted for the season finale.
Okay.
How many times have we been watching a show and then we hear the final episode's like 28 minutes? Like, how the fuck are they going to wrap all this shit up? And then they do Secret Invasion.
Right.
Remember that? That was a short episode.
Right.
And I think that was one of our points. Like, bro, they're really, like, they're going to wrap this show up in fucking 25 minutes.
And then the first 7.5 is recap.
Yep.
And then the last 13 minutes is, you know, credits and shit.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so you got a 7-minute show. Come on, dude.
Yes. My last thing I'm going to say about James Gunn before we do thumbs up, thumbs down is there are some James Gunn glazers out there that glaze his needle drops, Adrian. Mm-hmm. Imagine if I just said glaze his needle, you'd probably think something else.
Mike, I would not think anything else but glazing. I would be thinking, what the fuck do you mean? But I definitely wouldn't be thinking anything else.
They're not praising his needle. They're praising his needle drops. So throughout Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, we've seen some of it in Superman and we've seen a lot of it in Peacemaker. He likes to use a lot of like actual rock and roll past hit music songs in a lot of these in lieu of a score in a lot of these movies, right? Okay. I would say that I think people overglaze his needle drops. Okay. So this is my, people, what's your take? I got a take for you, Adrian. My take is out of the comic book movies that I've seen, the Deadpool trilogy has better needle drops than any other series of movies. Okay. So that's my take. You guys, let me know if you agree. If you don't, are you a James Gunn glazer? I'm actually getting tired. The reason I bring this up is after watching this last episode, I'm getting tired of his fucking needle drops. I really am. I mean, it's just like these, and maybe it's because it's not my genre of music. I don't want to sound like the people hating on a Super Bowl, but I'm like, dude, it's a lot of like 70s and 80s rock songs that they're not like the most popular ones. I don't fucking know them, and they're getting a little annoying. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm nitpicking. Okay. Anyways, another fun fact. So the actress that plays Harcourt Jennifer Holland. You've seen her, right?
Yeah.
You've seen James Gunn, right?
Yeah.
You know what he looks like? That's his wife.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So maybe they are praising his needle. I don't know. But anyways.
Let's hope at least she's praising his needle.
All right. We are going to wrap up the news and rumors with a little thumbs up, thumbs down. Adrian, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Number one, actually, let's go to our double shot, double wide.
Double wide.
That's most of the people that are complaining about the halftime show from their fucking double wide while they're beating their wife.
Oh, damn.
Who's actually their cousin, too. But anyways, moving on. Thumbs up, thumbs down. There's pandemonium, Adrian, among MCU fans after the Russo brothers. They share a photo on social media with the text, "Look hard." Yep. And after looking hard, I believe it's Avengers vs. X-Men. So I'm going to give this a thumbs up.
On what part?
The Avengers vs. X-Men.
Okay, so let's clarify. There is no pandemonium. There is mild interest.
Okay.
And after you've made it obvious to me,
yes,
or you've given me your point of view of what we're looking at, I can agree. There's some Avengers X-Men things going on.
You give that a thumbs up?
Yes, thumbs up.
Okay. Number two, rumor has it we will be getting a fourth Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie focusing on Peter balancing, raising a family, along with still being that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You give that a thumbs up?
Thumbs up.
James Cameron seems to confirm that Avatar 4 and 5 are not guaranteed. It's ultimately up to Avatar 3's level of success. I give this a thumbs up. Yeah, we don't need those fucking movies.
Exactly. I was going to give it a thumbs up too. That it's not guaranteed.
Correct. According to a scooper. They gotta have a better name. It sounds like someone picking up dog shit, right? Like
cat litter or some dog shit in the park.
And also, side note, dude, on my way here, I saw like 10 animals and half of them dead in the road. Are animals suicidal? Like, is that a thing? Shit, dude.
They also don't know what to do with, New England weather.
True.
It's too cold, so they freeze up in the middle of the street.
Yeah, I guess. Dude, I've seen them all. Squirrel, possums, raccoons, deer, moose, coyote. I'm just kidding. I haven't seen a moose. The deer is the cutoff. Anyways, according to a scooper.
Maybe a fox.
A fox?
Or a wolf. You got those.
Definitely do.
Moose?
No, I didn't see any moose. They would have wrecked your car.
Oh, yeah. Huge, you see cars in the street.
They're like fucking dinosaurs and shit, Anyways, according to a scooper, the first look of Avengers Doomsday will be attached to Avatar Fire and Ash when it arrives in the studio. You know what? I guess a thumbs down because you're trying to use Avengers to build up your box office because there's some of us that are going to buy a ticket, go watch the Avengers trailer, and walk the fuck out that bitch.
Wait a minute. Didn't he shit on comic book movies at one point? Or who was that?
No, that was Scorsese and all those. No, actually, he did.
Speaking of dinosaurs.
Yes. He did give the MCU props when Endgame passed Avatar, but then he put his movie back out in the theaters because, anyways.
Aggressive, mom.
Seriously, dude. Elektra, rumored to be returning in one of the next 2 seasons of Daredevil Born Again. I give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And then last but not least, James Gunn says he's not worried about upsetting racists with his Earth X reveal that I predicted a few weeks ago.
Correct.
Well, the reveal. I didn't predict that he's not worried, but I give this a thumbs up. You shouldn't be worried.
Right. Thumbs up.
And racists do exist. So before you go in the comments and go, it's not real, does it? It fucking does.
Yep.
100%. And you should never be upset about upsetting a racist about anything.
So trailing on the racist thing, not saying that they are. No. Mr. Tamo in Rome, Italy.
Don't go to that place.
I'm not going to say that. It's Via Rosio Ramondo 31 in Rome, whatever that means.
Damn.
I just had a uninvited, unwelcomed experience. It wasn't good for me and mine, so shame on you, motherfucker.
Fucking assholes. Anyways, moving on, Adrian. Next up, there's a segment that I forgot about and brought back. So this is the
it happens.
hour. It does happen, dude. We can't all be perfect, We were going down through history. We were looking at 5-year bans, and we were determining what was the best year in comic book movies in those 5 years because we have a mission, Adrian. We have to find what the best comic book movie year was in history.
Okay.
We've been asked. I don't know who asked us, but it's our mission, okay? So we've done it. We've gone through the first 10 years, going from 2025 back to 2015. So far, the 2 years that are leading, we have the year of 2023. That was when Across the Spider-Verse was released, Ninja Turtles, Guardians 3, yada, yada, yada. 2018 won last week's 5-year band, and that was the year that Black Panther, Infinity War, Into the Spider-Verse, Deadpool 2, I mean, fucking banger out to banger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going back further, Adrian, further into time. We're going to go 2014 through 2010, okay? All right. Which one of these years was the best of the 5? In 2014, Captain America, The Winter Soldier was released. The first Guardians of the Galaxy movie was released. X-Men Days of Future Past was released. That's fucking 3 bangers in a row right there. Holy shit. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, not so much. It was okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I don't even know which one that is. 300, Rise of an Empire, the sequel, Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, and Big Hero 6, which is actually phenomenal as well. It's a fucking solid year, dude. Of those, what would you say was the best movie, your opinion?
Winter Soldier,
yeah. Yeah, I actually would say Days of Future Past. I'm a Days of Future Past glazer, Adrian. But we'll say that. So, but this was pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, those first 3, holy shit. You see, the Guardians, I slightly like Guardians 3 the most, but the first Guardians movie is phenomenal. All right, 2013. Here's what we got. Man of Steel, biggest piece of dog shit ever put out. No, but one of them. Iron Man 3, one of my favorite Christmas movies. Thor: The Dark World, but let's be honest, this is not starting off that well.
Right.
The Wolverine, Kick-Ass 2, and then a few other movies that no one ever seen. This year seems pretty mid, dude. The best of these for me is probably the Wolverine. I have a feeling you're gonna go Iron Man.
I could lean toward the Wolverine, but R.I.P.D. was good too.
Okay.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I never seen that. Oh, that was one of them. Yeah, R.I.P.D.
The second one was dog shit though. It
happens, dude.
Yeah.
First one's great, and then you take a shit. It's like eating. You have a nice big meal, then you take a shit. You know, it's still the same meal.
Yep. Perfect analogy. So fuck.
You just never know what's gonna happen here, dude. All right, 2012. This was the Avengers, the OG Avengers. The Dark Knight Rises, The Amazing Spider-Man, pretty solid. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, Dread, and Men in Black 3. I'm gonna go the Avengers, obviously.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Kind of a mid-year though, right? Yeah. I mean, so far nothing's looking like 2014. All right, 2011, Captain America: The First Avenger, Thor, the first one, X-Men: First Class, Green Lantern, speaking of Ryan Reynolds, The Adventures of Tintin, and then some other bullshit, Cowboys and Aliens.
That was a good movie.
Was it really?
Cowboys and Aliens was good.
Every time I say there's another bullshit, that was actually pretty good. Of these movies, what was the best? Oh, God. I'm leaning.
Captain America.
You're going with Cap?
Yeah. Thor was actually pretty good. Surprisingly good.
Yo, Thor is a movie that when I first saw it, I wasn't crazy. But now, years later, and maybe it's his arc in the MCU, I don't know, but I actually do like that movie a lot more now than I ever did.
Yeah. A lot of people thought a Thor movie was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's like, really?
I'm gonna actually go. Yeah, I'll go X-Men First Class on this. I do actually like that. 2010. All right, last year of this 5-year band. This is before the Avengers. Iron Man 2, Kick-Ass, Jonah Hex, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and then The Losers, some DC, and then Red. This is. Fuck, I'm gonna have to go.
Like Bruce Willis Red?
I think so, yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I'm gonna go Iron Man.
Jonah Hex was good too.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm gonna go with Iron Man.
Go with Iron Man. All right. Of these years, I mean, I don't know that. I think it's 2014, dude.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is those three alone, Cap, Winter
Guardians,
Soldier,
yeah.
Guardians, and X-Men Days of Future Past. All right, so now in the runnings, we got 2023, 2018, and now 2014. So if my math is right, we got 2 more weeks of this, and then we will solve this dilemma, Adrian, the mission that we were set upon by our own selves. All right. The DCU has started officially.
Okay.
The MCU's been around since 2008. So people say that I shouldn't compare things. So what do you think I'm going to do?
Compare something.
Absolutely. I'm not big on being told what to do, Adrian. It's not my favorite activity.
Or following instructions, even if you are told what to do.
There you go. So DCU versus MCU. DCU, I look at it like this. The DCU launched this year. Okay. I know that Blue Beetle technically takes place in the DCU, but that was like, you guys made all this bullshit, and I'm just going to take this one piece with me and keep this one because the Flash came out around that time. That's not part of the DCU. They got a new Superman and all this shit. So anyways, Blue Beetle, I'm not counting that as the beginning. I'm talking James Gunn's DCU. Creature Commandos. Technically, it started in 24, but it ended in 25, so I'm going to use that. In a nutshell, the DCU had released 3 projects this year. Creature Commandos, the Superman movie, and then Peacemaker Season 2. I mean, I look at that as you're 3 for 3. They're all good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Nothing about that. The MCU, on the other hand, they released 7 projects so far. There will be 8 before the end of the year. Their list goes as such: Captain America Brave New World, Daredevil Born Again, Thunderbolts, Ironheart, The Fantastic Four First Steps, Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies, and they're going to finish out the year with Wonder Man, which is actually getting a lot of praise, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, it's almost unfair this year, but is it safe to say the MCU won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Just because of the quantity.
Right.
But I wanted to be fair, Adrian. I wanted to go back to the MCU year 1. Okay. This is 2008. They released 2 movies that year, Iron Man and The Incredible Hulk. Iron Man, a phenomenal movie. Incredible Hulk, a probably mid movie. Is that fair? I mean, I don't think a lot of people shit all over it. But I think it's a little bit, it's probably slightly below average.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the first phase of, phase 1 of the MCU was Iron Man, Incredible Hulk. And then in 2010, 2 years later, they dropped Iron Man 2. In 2011, they put out Thor and Captain America, the first Avenger. And then by 2012, they put out the Avengers. So we're looking at year 1 versus year 1. So the DCU's year 1, Superman, Peacemaker Season 2, and Creature Commandos versus Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. Who would you say had the best start?
DCU.
I think so too, right? Like they are. Now, what does this mean? It could mean nothing. They could put out 8 bombs in a row. But my point is everyone, or not everyone, those of you that are shitting on the DCU, just know that they are on. If we're gauging the MCU success and that type of output and where they grew, the DCU is starting off on the right path.
Well, you really can't compare them.
No.
Because of the difference. I mean, you're talking fucking almost 2 decades. Between the two. So, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, they got released with the technology. It's like trying to compare a CD player with fucking streaming today.
Okay.
So of course it's easier for the DCU to start faster because they got 20 years of other people's examples of what to do and what not to do.
Got it.
So
it's not a shock then.
No, it's not. No. So it's not a shocker. But in the same sense, they should have had a lot of shit out by now instead of just 3 things.
Well, it's like where we're going. We're gonna talk about next year. So we're gonna talk about the slate moving forward. And we're gonna make a prediction. The funny thing is, as of right now, I believe there's only 3 projects for each. Well, that's not true because the MCU is going to have some shows in there, but we're talking big projects.
Mhm.
So the DCU over the next year has 3 big projects announced. Supergirl, which they dropped the Woman of Tomorrow line, which, yeah, Supergirl's much better than, you don't need all that shit. Anyway, Supergirl, June 26th. Clayface, September 11th of 26. And then the Lanterns TV show expected early 26, okay? 3 projects versus so far the 3 announced projects for the MCU: Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and Avengers Doomsday. Without knowing, we've not seen a trailer or anything for any of this shit. So it's probably, we know about the same for both projects, right? Actually, we saw a Little Lanterns one. But who do you think's going to have the best year out of these 2 based on those projects? It's tough, though.
Yeah, it is. I want to lean on MCU because we already know we've seen the precursors to pretty much all of these things.
True, true.
And even though Avengers Doomsday, we haven't seen it collectively, we've seen the individual pieces, right?
Right.
And so Supergirl, Clayface, Lantern, they're all new things. You know, we had the shitty Ryan Reynolds Lantern. We've never seen Clayface.
Right.
And then Supergirl, you know, last time we saw her was, I guess, The Flash.
Yeah.
Right. Or a variant of her.
Oh, yeah.
And then before that was the TV show.
Sure.
Or the movie with when Christopher Reeves was around. So I don't know. But based on the popularity of this new Superman beating out the Fantastic Four this year, I would probably bet on the DCU.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go MCU for a lot of the reasons you said. And I'm looking at it from like what my scores, my feedback on these projects, which ones am I going to like more? I
would like the DCU stuff more.
You would,
but I
okay.
think numbers wise, it's going to be the
MCU.
I mean, I like the MCU
Okay.
more, but numbers wise, I think the DCU is going to beat out.
Got it. Okay. And I'm strictly saying what I would like more. I'm thinking MCU. But because I mean Daredevil, I've become a huge Daredevil fan. Obviously, with how much I like the Batman and how similar the characters are, it's an easy progression, right? I'm a big Spider-Man guy, always have been. I'm a big fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And like I said last week, there's nothing that I've heard so far about this Brand New Day movie that I don't like. You know, and that's a lot of times when we get these rumors, it's like, dude, I hope that one doesn't come true. That one's cool. That one sucks. So far, I'm down with just about everything we've heard.
Yeah.
And then Avengers Doomsday, dude, I have this may be a bold thing to say because of how big Infinity War was in Endgame. And I think when it's all said and done, Doomsday and Secret Wars will be looked at above those movies.
Yeah.
I think they're going to pull something off that's will cause some pandemonium, Adrian.
I would agree.
Okay.
But,
that was a good use.
Right. Yeah. But what I'm seeing in 2026, we're gonna be eating good.
Dude, you literally you took my stuff, Adrian, because yes, that's where I was going. You're 100% right. We, as comic book fans, 6 fucking projects that and that's, you know, forget about comparing them. There's not a project here that I don't want to see.
Exactly.
And that's rare. I mean, we've gone to see things that we weren't crazy excited about, the Marvels, things like that, because we're like, hey, it's coming out, let's review it. It's part of the whole, it's kind of, we're bought into the MCU now. Right. It's like, just okay. All right, give it to me. Whatever fuck it is. Oh, that sucked. But out of these 6, I don't want to skip any of them.
Exactly.
I couldn't. They all fucking are intriguing.
It's called, that's some good eating.
Yep, we're going to be eating fucking well for the next couple of years. That reminds me, dude, it's like, I can't even explain it, how these things work, because that ties right into my next little piece before we hit the home stretch. Batman Year One. Why do I bring this up? Because this is an amazing comic. I read this comic frequently. I'd say frequently, maybe once a year or something, right?
That's frequent.
That is frequent. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is it ties into a lot of stuff that we're talking about today, because we're talking about Secret Wars and how that's going to reset the MCU.
Okay.
Just like the comic in 2015 reset the comic universe. That's not the first reset that's happened in comics. It's something that happens on occasion. DC has a big reset, right?
Yeah.
Crisis on Infinite Earths. I know you know you grew up on the old original Secret Wars, but what about this comic, Crisis on Infinite Earths? Was this something that hit your radar back then? Were you a big DC guy? You weren't.
No, not at all. Matter of fact, I didn't really hear about it. I mean, it makes sense that they would have one.
Yeah.
Coveting thy neighbor's shit. But no, that's a recent discovery for me. The animated version, the 3-parter, they kind of did a shitty job of that, but it got the point across.
Got it. So in 1985 through 86, the story ran Crisis on Infinite Earths. It was a big continuity reset. The goal was to wipe out the multiverse and restart with main heroes with fresh, grounded origins. And because of that, we got a comic called Man of Steel, which was a rebooted Superman under John Byrne. And then we got a comic called Batman Year One, which was a rebooted origin in 1987 by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. Maybe that's how you say it. They did it for Batman. We reviewed this comic here. There's also, have you seen the animated movie Year One?
I think so.
Okay. It follows the comic pretty much to a T. But really, Year One is one of my favorite Batman comics for a lot of reasons. But mainly because of the grounded story. As much as I say we don't need, matter of fact, Batman Year One is one of the reasons why I say we don't need to see Batman's origin. You want to see his origin, read that comic.
Right.
It's 4 issues. It's a quick read. It's easy. It's simple. And the story still holds up to this day.
There you go.
You see his origin. You see Gordon's origin. You see some of the Falcones in there. You see Catwoman, Selena Kyle's origin. You see her almost becoming Catwoman. And then there's the Joker tease at the end. This comic has inspired almost every Batman movie that we've seen. They've taken from this.
Got it.
So great comic, but I thought that was cool was that the whole reason we even had this was DC had their multiverse back in the 80s and they got tired of it. They wiped it out. So I say all that to say a couple things. One, I don't have Year One for sale on Only Comics merch, but I do have, if you're watching this on TikTok, the link is below, and I found I think the cheapest I saw was like $12 for the comic. So you can buy it through my link if you want, or not. You don't have to. Anyways, the question I have for you, Adrian, is does a multiverse story get old fast?
It gets old fast and over time.
Okay.
I think it's, in the beginning, I thought it was too complex, but of course, if you drip on something long enough, it starts to make sense. But multiversal stuff is very complex. By the way, so you have galaxies, you have universes, you have multiverses, then you have the omniverse.
Okay.
Which I'll probably get into it as a hidden gem at some point. The omniverse is different.
I'm intrigued.
And it has all of its own characters along with it and shit.
Okay.
That shit is crazy.
So I'm not going to ask you what it is. I don't want to spoil it. So you're saying that may be a hidden gem in the future.
Yes.
So multiverse, do you think the multiverse can almost cause lazy writing?
Yes. Lazy in that it cleans up some things that shouldn't have happened in the first place. Like, let's bring back Tony Stark.
Yep.
Lazy in that you can slip some things under the bigger things. You know, I don't want to do this thing, or that doesn't make sense. So let's just slide this under some big action shit that's happening over here. So yes.
Yeah.
It's you can do lazy writing and multiversal stuff.
Because nothing's off limits, right?
Correct.
You want an Iron Man, bring him in. You want 2 Iron Men, fucking bring one from that dimension. You want 3 Spider-Man in the same movie, fucking do it. Who cares? I'm not saying it doesn't also create another layer of creativity, because I'm saying that in these projects were enjoyable. I mean, Deadpool Wolverine was a product of the multiverse.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home, product of the multiverse. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, product of the so there are, and I like that movie. A lot of people don't. Even the zombies thing. I mean, it's the What If is a multiverse story, right? So there is a lot of good, but I do, and maybe lazy ain't even the word. I don't know, but it does nothing's off the tables when you have a multiverse. When you're doing something more grounded, you have to be creative in other ways, you know?
Right. So the multiverse is a way to give you the short version of why a decision was made. Instead of having to sit down and think about how can I work this character, this plot, this team out of something.
Right.
Right.
Well, the short answer to why we created this next segment, We Respond, is because you motherfuckers talk too much shit online, and I'm gonna fucking tell you about yourself. I'm just kidding. It's to give a shout out to the interns, to the subscribers, to our followers. And every once in a while, you know, it's like my man said in Tombstone, Adrian. You had to get somebody on a rap on the beater to get some respect around here. Okay.
The fuck does that mean?
You know,
No, seriously, what does that mean?
You slap them in the mouth to get some respect.
How easy is it to say just slap a motherfucker in the mouth?
I know, but this was like the fucking 1500s. So they did shit different.
Oh,
back then,
okay.
you know?
And
Yeah.
they didn't have these accelerated words.
Correct.
Like we have today.
They
Got
talked
it.
weird back then, dude, for some fucking reason. Anyways, all right, We Respond. The first one is someone that's gonna need to get a little fucking rap on his beater over here. Mr. Oi Man Dude Guy. So I mean, that's his name, dude. I swear. Mr. OI Man Dude Guy.
You sure you're not missing a fucking syllable or
He
something
might
in
be
there?
missing one. So here's the thing.
It could be Obi-Wan Kenobi or some shit.
All I know is right off the bat, he's an idiot. So, but you, you know,
Wow.
we have a segment here. It's a semi-frequent segment. What the fuck, Rotten Tomatoes, right? Who's on the devil's lettuce today, me or you?
I don't know. It's fucking Coke.
It's the Coke.
It's
And we mean
Coca-Cola.
we mean
Right.
the beverage. Yeah, before we're not not doing that. It's the beverage.
Even though maybe they reverted back to the original.
the OG.
Original.
It does say original
recipe.
taste on it, so it could be that.
Original taste, not original recipe.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's a small detail.
Damn.
But anyways, we have a segment, What the Fuck, Rotten Tomatoes. And he's mocking me for my segment because he doesn't understand that I fucking understand shit. I've explained ad nauseum. I'm not going to do it again here today, but how the Rotten Tomato scores work, right?
Yeah.
Then we do a segment where there's a discrepancy in scores, and we say which one of these scores is closer to the real score, meaning the score that we would give it, right? So he quotes me. He's got quotations. Critics gave this an 96%. The audience gave it an 85%. And I'm going to tell you which one is close to the real score. That's what we did. He says, you do realize that the 96% number is the number of critics that simply gave the film a thumbs up, meaning that yada, yada, yada.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
That's what you do. Because, yes, bitch, I do fucking know. And this is why it pisses me off, Adrian, because in the video he dropped this comment on, I fucking explained the way the goddamn scores work. So instead of listening to a small portion of the video, then going online and opening the fucking hole in your face and spewing this nonsense, you could, as my girl just said here,
you shut your mouth when you're talking
that's
to
what
me.
you should do. You should finish watching the fucking video before you say something stupid, okay? You got something nice to say, you can say it 100 times a video. You got something stupid, wait till the fucking end of the video, because odds are I tend to over-explain, Adrian. So odds are I've explained what the fuck you're confused about.
So you're saying he took a soundbite?
Yes. Yep. That part. Oh, I thought there was more.
No.
He took a soundbite. All right, next up. So we had to get that one out of the way, you know. Mick Skeeter, 66, says, hey, Mike and Adrian. AWAB, appreciate the shout out. And sorry, Mike, for not being on the live. I know, it's okay, dude. I forgive you. Busy guy working OT. Oh, you definitely get forgiven. I'm trying. I agree. Marvel Zombies was excellent, and I like that they released all 4 episodes at once. Again, they listened to me.
Right.
I told them that.
Hey,
I told them,
it
don't
happens.
space the shit out. Just fucking drop it on us, you know? When you take your shit, you don't space it out. You just fucking drop it all there.
There you go.
Maybe. I don't know. I wish there were
Turd
more.
that thing.
Yes. Wish
What
there
the
was.
fuck does that?
I don't. No. I wish there was more coming out soon, but oh well. And that was Icarus fighting Captain Marvel. Yeah, we figured it out. It was a fucking Eternals guy. Of course it was. Just got done with the 7th episode of Peacemaker, and damn, that episode was hilarious. Yes, it was. Eventually, you'll see my bearded self on the live, Mike. But until then, guys, keep doing great things, and I will see you when I see you. Well, thank you, Mick Skeeter. And yes, the live was popping on Friday, dude. It was there. Yeah, they were asking about you. I told them that you were traveling, dude. Yeah. And it's
traveling
late.
and recovering.
Yeah, and it's late. It was 7 p.m. I know, you're in a different time schedule than us sometimes. Maple Grove, he's from Ireland, out there where you just were.
Okay.
He says, hey guys, AWAB, I caught the live last week for a bit. Yes, Maple Grove was in the house. It was cool to be involved for how little I was there. I've been on a DC kick lately. I'm enjoying Peacemaker, binge Creature Commandos. I started Young Justice. Have you guys ever watched Young Justice? I have not. You have.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did, but they switched General Zod and the whole thing. They race swapped them at the end. So
of course they did.
And that was it was different.
Yeah. We call that fuckery. Would you recommend any animated DC movies? Yes, I would. I would recommend. I actually just started watching this because it's, 'tis the season. The Long Halloween. It's a 2-part animated movie. That's a good one.
Flashpoint.
You stole my next idea because that is probably like their best animated movie, right? One of them at least. Flashpoint. I like the first Justice League one. It's something War maybe? I don't know, but there's a Justice League when they
Justice League War, I think is the
when
title.
they formed the Justice League.
I don't remember what it was. Because if you go on to like pretty much any of the DC animated movies, I would kind of recommend.
Yeah.
There's not one that sticks out that's like that was so horrible that I would not recommend. So literally any of them.
I got a list
from my side.
I'm gonna rattle some off real quick.
Yep.
Batman Under the Red Hood.
Yep.
You got Batman Year One we talked about earlier. Oh, Justice League Doom. That's
okay.
Standalone sequel. No, there's a fucking goddamn.
No, there's a war or something.
There is, dude. Is it the New Frontier? Maybe. Maybe not. Let's see. Batman vs. Robin. Yeah. That's a phenomenal. Son of Batman.
Oh, yeah, definitely watch that.
Oh, there is. Justice League War is the origin. Okay. So we weren't fucking wrong, dude. We're fucking on it.
Isn't there a Justice League v Titans or something?
Yes, there is that. So the order is Justice League Flashpoint. Watch that. That resets all the movies that came before it. And then you have Justice League War, which is like the new origin for the Justice League. Then you got Son of Batman. Assault on Arkham's a good one. Justice League Throne of Atlantis. That's a good one. Yeah. Aquaman gets in the mix. Batman vs. Robin. Justice League Gods and Monsters. I wasn't crazy about that one. Did you like that one?
I know I saw it. I just don't remember all of it.
Justice League versus Teen Titans. Yeah. That's a good one. The Batman Killing Joke. Skip that. That fucking sucks. Justice League Dark. This is with, I think, Constantine and the Dark. Did you like that one? I wasn't crazy about it.
I liked the Constantine character in it, but it was more about him than the Justice League.
Yes,
I think.
That's true. It doesn't feel like a Justice League movie.
It's like Kingpin being in Echo. It was a Kingpin movie. It was an Echo movie.
The Death of Superman. That was a good one. I still haven't watched the sequel, The Reign of Superman. Have you seen that one? This when he comes back.
I don't remember it.
All right. Batman Hush, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman Bloodlines, I've not seen that. And
I've seen that.
You have.
Also, is there one about is Reign of Superman? Is it the Reign of Superman men or Superman?
Oh yeah, no, Reign of the Supermen. Yes,
I saw that one.
Okay.
That's the one where there's Superman is kind of he's gone. So a bunch of other Superman variants step in. Like a cyborg kind of Superman, basically Iron Man.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And then Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. I don't know.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that one. But anyways, there are a lot of good ones. There's a Superman Man of Tomorrow. I don't know if that is going to inspire the Man of Tomorrow movie that's coming out. And like I said, Batman Long Halloween 1 and 2, that's a 2-parter. That is phenomenal if you've read the comics, or even if you haven't.
I think Superman Man of Tomorrow is about when Lex Luthor fucked him, tricked him into going into the sun. He developed this new power where he can project his force field around other objects.
Okay.
But he was so irradiated that he turned into something else. That's when he took the nap in the sun.
Oh, okay. All right, so I would.
Or I could be completely wrong.
You
about
might wanna
the
fact
whole
check.
episode. Definitely fact check.
A lot of the stuff
You don't want to, might want to. You definitely want to fact check.
You fucking need to. All right. Slapper Wrestle, my boy Slapper, he says, can your dog give you consent? Hey, wow, remember that conversation last week? You don't even remember.
No.
We were talking about people wanting to marry their dogs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It's actually a really entertaining clip. So if
Sure.
you can go back and check that out. AWAB, my guys, AWAB.
Yo, the guy from Ireland, I asked him where he was from.
All right.
What part?
Maple
how far
Grove.
was he from Maple Grove? How far was he from Dublin?
Okay.
Or how far is he from Dublin? Or he might be in Dublin.
Maybe he's
and I
in
missed
Dublin.
him.
You fucking missed him, dude. Damn, we'd plan it better next time. He says, I knew it was over for Adebayo when she went for a walk. Yes, bro. It was
Right?
like, don't go for a walk. It's like a horror movie. Don't go out that door.
That's it.
Holy shit. The funny is it's like seeing a wild animal and shit. A black. Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck was that?
Y'all hit it perfectly with Earth X. Now we just need a GI robot. Yes, the fuck we do. Lex, I think, mentioned Killer Croc and Dr. Phosphorus are cellmates. Remember he said some weird shit about like a lizard and somebody was ass fucking him or something. And and I think the description of them does fit those two characters. He says, y'all, I finished Creature Commandos. It's an 8.5 out of 10 easy. I think that checks out. The backstories were so well written, especially for the bride. Frankenstein was so funny.
Yeah.
It was. What I love about that show is each episode told a different backstory, but it all still tied into the overall story.
Yeah, we know why everybody liked the bride when Doc Frank was getting in.
Oh,
boy.
yes, he was, dude. Yes, he was. Marvel Zombies, I give it an 8 out of 10. Spider-Man should have been the lead. First episode would have landed better if they started with Thanos. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And the show proved we need more Blade.
Absolutely.
Questions. What's your prediction on Mephisto's next appearance? I mean, do you think we'll see a Mephisto in either of these Avengers movies, Doomsday or Secret Wars?
No,
I don't think so either. I could possibly see maybe Vision Quest because he shows up he was teased in Agatha, which is kind of a continuation of WandaVision, or the next Doctor Strange movie would probably be a good spot for Mephisto's show.
I mean, who's in Riri? Ironheart.
Ironheart?
Who was that?
That was Mephisto.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so he could pop up anywhere.
True, because if she's back, so I guess technically it could be Doomsday if Riri's in there. So the answer is fucking anywhere. For Halloween, can we get top 5 horror movies and we still need that DC animated ranking? Yes, we do. We can do horror movies next week.
Sure.
Or Halloween themed in general, right? Do you have, I know you're a Christmas guy, Adrian, but this time of year, now I know it don't feel like a Halloween season because it's fucking 97 degrees outside right now. Do you have Halloween-esque movies that are kind of like your go-to, or is that just a Christmas thing for you?
Aliens.
Okay.
Predator.
Yeah.
That's really about it.
Okay.
I don't really have any comic book kind of movies I don't go to the Long Halloween.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
I mean, in general, like, hey, it's Halloween time. I need to throw this fucking movie on.
Nope. But when Christmas hits,
I know. Oh, I know.
fucking Hallmark channel. Whatever hits me off of Hallmark, I'm there.
Well, we're going to rank them next week. We're going to do our top 5 horror/Halloween-esque movies. And then he provides his 5. So Scream, which I fucking love that movie, the OG.
Yeah.
The Ring.
OG.
Remember that movie?
Yeah.
When she bitches fucking crawling out the TV and shit, all that shit. Jason X, that's a shocker. I'm gonna need to find out why that's your favorite.
Yeah.
That ain't even my favorite Jason movie.
No.
Hereditary. I'm not seeing this. I think it's on Netflix or Max. Hereditary.
Never heard of it.
And Insidious. Insidious is good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good list. Slappa. Brandon Jones says, I can't be the only one pissed about Blade being in Marvel Zombies. Like, why animate him if they're just going to cancel the movie? I'm just glad we got to see him, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't even him.
Right.
It was fucking Montu or whatever.
Yeah.
The Moon Knight.
Khonshu, yeah.
The Moon Knight demon dude possessing him.
True. I'm just glad we got to see some version of
his
Blade.
fucking that action was top tier.
It was. Justin Duran on Spotify says, totally agree with you guys. Jensen Ackles would be an awesome Batman. He's my favorite fan cast. Two more things. My brother and I had this debate on who would win in a fight, Sentry or Scarlet Witch. My personal opinion, I think Sentry, but I only know about him from Thunderbolts. And the last thing is, it's October. I think I'd recommend some horror movies if you guys haven't seen it. The Terrifier, which is all three of them, and there's a new one. Yeah, I've actually heard The Terrifier is good. I've not seen any of them. All right, Sentry versus Scarlet Witch, dude.
Come on, dog.
I mean,
Scarlet Witch all day. She was just, I mean, she could either pull them apart, atom by atom, or split him in half and send all his body parts to different dimensions.
Right.
Turn him into a zombie, or make him think that he's a zombie and eat his own ass.
Ooh.
I'm just, any of those things.
She could make him think that he's on meth again.
There's that.
I mean, literally, yeah.
It's simple.
Yeah.
I'm curled up in the corner, or whatever the fuck meths do.
I mean, a surprise attack, Sentry's strong, so he maybe get a good couple of fucking blows in, but once she realizes what's happening, it's a wrap.
Right.
Dude, Scarlet Witch is the GOAT.
Yep.
Hung Solo, says, really, fellas, the best comic heroes podcast there is. Yes. Jensen Ackles, who also plays Dean Winchester, is his best character. Yeah, I recommend it for Adrian's hidden gem. Dean Winchester, you even know who that is?
No.
Well, it's fucking really.
That's a character?
Gem. Yeah, it's a character.
I'm trying to figure out who Jensen Ackles is.
Soldier Boy from The Boys.
Got it.
And he voiced Red Hood in the animated Under the Red Hood. Yes, he did. And I'm pretty sure he's voiced Batman in some of these movies or shows now. All right, before we go to Hidden Gem, we got a couple people on TikTok. So Renslayer Brand says, by the end of this new season of Peacemaker, I would love to see y'all revisit the conversation of who's a better actor, The Rock versus John Cena. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to go see The Smashing Machine before I record Mic Check. And after watching John Cena's acting like he was crying in the last episode, I fucking changed my stance. The Rock is the better actor.
I told you that from the beginning.
I know you did. I was hoping that my boy John would come through, but no, his little fucking, I couldn't with the fake crying and shit. It's too much. So I'm already Team Rock, but after the Smashing Machine, I will. I'm heading towards Team Rock, so we'll verify it next week. And then Tulio the Great 007 says, "What about Namor? About Namor in Marvel Zombies? We gave our favorite characters, but he was a fucking savage.
Oh, he was a savage dude.
Shit.
Him, Thor.
Yep.
I would put that scene with Namor as like the top scene.
Okay.
I would go that one, probably the Thor scene when the axe to Thanos' chest.
Yep.
That was in there. The Hulk scenes I wouldn't put in there because I was underwhelmed by with all that power what he actually did with it. I mean, you're just gonna sit there and fucking
he's fucking standing
punching people and stuff. Like, come on, dog.
M35 McLovin says it was the Empire Strikes Back of Marvel. I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I know what he's saying. The villains win, right?
Sure.
I think Infinity War was the Empire Strikes Back of Marvel. And then Eddie Davey 33 says, How have y'all never heard of the Enchantress? Bitch, shut the fuck up. Because
I've heard of the Enchantress.
We did, yeah. It was just, first of all, but you want to know, if anyone asks how we haven't heard of a character, I'm going to fucking tell you why. I did the math, Adrian. You know how many characters there are just between Marvel and DC alone?
Right.
30,000 of them. So if we ever say something that we never heard of this character, that's fucking why. There's 30 goddamn thousand of them. And we've also never claimed to be experts.
Right. Well, the other thing too is because of all the characters, obviously most of them aren't interesting.
There's that.
So just because you like somebody, that doesn't mean that we like them. See, we may have heard of them and just they were so boring that we just forgot about them.
There's that.
So it's kind of like like aforementioned person before. I knew the face, didn't know the name.
Right.
I could hear the name, not make the association. You put a picture in front of me. Oh, I know that person.
Correct.
But I've heard of the Enchantress.
Just like whoever you were. We've never heard of you either.
I don't even know who you are.
We don't. So, and there's only like 90,000 of you guys following us. So, I mean, we fucking haven't heard of your ass either. So shut the fuck up. You know, it's just that. But also, like, remind me, Adrian, before I pass you the baton today, remind me of when you or I have ever got on this podcast or any other podcast and said and claimed to be an expert on comic books.
Let me see. What's the word? Never.
Never. Fucking
Never.
never. That's an N-word we can use. Did you see Trump's like, there's
Exactly.
2 N-words we can't use. When he was saying nuclear was the one he couldn't use, and then along with another one. And I'm thinking, motherfucker, you use both of those probably daily, so get the fuck out of here. But never is an N-word that we all can use. Yes. So you're right, never. But what's about to happen right now, Adrian, is the hidden gem. So is Donald Trump the hidden gem?
No.
Okay.
Well, let's see how we say that.
Okay, well, who's the hidden gem?
All right. So we talked a lot about Batman, Selena Kyle, the Falcone family, Joker, blah, 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 blah. Well, we got one person that has reached out and touched all of them.
Shit.
All right. So today, Dr. Pamela Isley. Poison Ivy. So I was thinking about, I'm like, man, I've been on this DC thing kick for a couple of weeks. So let me continue. But who is worthy? Now, so Poison Ivy, we kind of talked about like women in comic books, right? They can be super powerful, which she is. She's not a Wanda powerful, but if she were a Marvel character, she would be up there with like Storm, Iceman, things like that, like a global threat kind of a deal. Matter of fact, she proves it, right? So Dr. Pamela Isley, she started out, so she also got retconned at some point, DC 52 or some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, the gist of it is, she was a kid, she was born with a skin disease.
Okay.
So, and the skin disease was that she couldn't be out in the sun. Well, doctors gave her lotions and things like that to protect her, but her father was like, fuck that. You're not gonna go outside at all. So he was very abusive. When her mother allowed her to go outside, her father would beat her ass, the mother's ass, right? And Pam was like, why did that happen? What's going on? And the mother always, blew it off, tried to make it less than what it is. Well, when she went through this trauma, she would take Pamela and they would go out. She would go out and garden. So she had this garden that would help her ease the pain and the transition, right? And her father would always bring her mother flowers to kind of make up for abusing her. So Pamela at an early age learned that, well, her mother, when she go out, she would talk to the plants and she would say things like, well, if you're real quiet, the plants would talk back to you. So between the flowers that her father would give her mother as a consolation, the mother being in the garden, all that kind of stuff, she learned that plants can be manipulative. The plants weren't, but people used them as manipulation tactics.
Okay.
And the cruelty of people through her father, right? So this went on until, well, her father killed her mother and buried her in her garden. So he eventually went to jail. For the rest of his life.
Dude. This is a dark story you're telling me here.
Yeah, just like Century. They all start out.
They do.
And it's like the more powerful they are, the darker the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. So she gets adopted. She gets taken in by family, and then she goes on to college where she learns, so this subconscious thing about plants. She gets into botany. She goes on and to start making these these pheromones that she would distribute out just to see what happened. But these were mind-altering, manipulative things that she would put out until the school found out about it. And they actually arrested her, put her in jail for all of this stuff. But she had already gotten to the dean. The dean got her out, actually set her up so that she can graduate summa cum laude, whatever.
Yeah.
At the top of her class.
Okay.
And then also got her an internship at Wayne Enterprises, where she worked with a doctor that learned how to grow plants very quickly. So she took all of that stuff. She had this project where, you know, she learned how to manipulate plants. And then so her research was stolen by, I think, the Riddler or some fucking body. And they went and just exploded this shit all over Gotham. Gotham was overrun by all these fast growing plants. And then about this time is when your boy first comes about. So the interesting one of the trivia thing is that Poison Ivy character. So you always had the Doctor, right? But the Poison Ivy character and Batman came up about the same time.
Okay.
So when this thing happened, it was with the plants taking over the city.
Mm-hmm.
Batman is the one that actually kind of led the charge to fix everything, clean up everything.
Yeah.
So many adventures, many things before the DC 52 reboot, many pre-crisis, post-crisis, many adventures. They got her entangled with the Riddler, the Joker. Matter of fact, there was a war between the Riddler and Joker. She took sides with the Riddler against the Joker. She got entangled with Catwoman because at that point, Selena Kyle was the head of the Falcone family or some bullshit. She ended up in Arkham, sitting right next to Harley Quinn. They become lovers. Matter of fact, Harley Quinn, there's actually a DC show about that. Them two, they be doing some shit on that show. But anyway, Poison Ivy considers Harley Quinn one of her true friends, besides her lover, right?
Yep.
And they have escapades together. So a lot of shit happens, but this chick is bad, dude.
Yes.
So anyway, she had at one point she went on this thing where, actually, let's go back a little bit. How she got her powers in the first place. So one story says that, you know, when she was in college, she hooked up with this professor. He kind of seduced her, injected her with some shit. She put her in a coma for 6 months. She woke up and her body was a hybrid of, you know, animals and plants. Mm-hmm. Another version says that there's this, and I want to do a hidden gem on this. There's a realm called, the green.
Okay.
So you have the green, you have the red, you have the black, you have the gray. But it's like a, you know, the Speed Force, Flash?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's kind of like that.
Okay.
It allows certain people to be able to access. I did hit gem on somebody before that had access to a different version of it. But it allows you access to this almost supernatural place where you can draw power from. As a matter of fact, so Poison Ivy, she was under attack by somebody. She asked the green to help her, and Swamp Thing, who also could access the green, heard her and came to her rescue. So it's kind of like this in-between universe that gives them power. And so they say that in one version, they say that she got her powers from the green. So when you hear things like the green, the red, the gray, the black, Speed Force, it's all kind of the same shit. It's just that it's tuned to a specific thing. So there's like one where you can get powers from animals. Mm-hmm. There's one where you get powers from plants, which is the green for her.
Okay.
There's one you get powers from death. Obviously, there's a Speed Force, things like that. So, so she wanted to create more hybrids. She was interested in, you know, what is the limitation or what's the bond between humans and plants. So she actually created these kids. She called them, I think, spores.
Okay.
So Hazel and Rose, kids. So she created them. She gave birth to them, basically. Human plant hybrids. They grew at an accelerated rate, all this other kind of shit. Somebody else stole that technology from her, created this other kid called the Thorn. Yeah. He was dying of cancer. He was looking for a cure. He wanted to raise this kid to kind of like harvest the kid. So they called that kid Thorn. And then Ivy found out about it. They went through this whole bullshit. So Hazel, Rose, and Thorn ended up being under Ivy's care. But ultimately, because she was afraid that other people would want to harvest them or learn about them. She kept them like enclosed, and they eventually got freed, and they went off to not be heard from again. But so besides being this brilliant scientist, this super powered person, you know, she's also a mother, right? So her powers, crazy shit. So chlorokinesis is basically a supernatural ability to talk to and manipulate plants. She can take a seed and create full-blown animated plants almost instantaneously. She can talk. Remember I talked about Iceman, where he can be on one side of the world. You taking a pee in the toilet, and he can beat a piss in your toilet from the other side of the world. She's kind of like that. Well, the difference is Iceman could actually traverse the planet through his ice.
Okay.
She can't physically traverse, but she can communicate through. Matter of fact, she actually projected herself into a vase of roses in Katana's dressing room one time from some other place.
Shit.
So she can manipulate plants, any kind of plant on the entire planet, through her connection with them, through the green, right? Pheromone control. She's able to create pheromones from her skin of any type. She can true serums, shit that'll kill you instantaneously, shit that'll control your mind, paralyze you, all kind of stuff. Now, she's created as an extremely, extremely beautiful woman. She doesn't necessarily use that to her advantage, but when she became Poison Ivy, she combined her pheromone delivery with her beauty. So she can she usually, of course, mesmerize men, but she mesmerized men and women because she's been involved with both like Bruce and, you know, Harley Quinn, right? So her preferred delivery is through kissing.
Yeah.
But she can deliver it any kind of way she wants to, through touch, through air dispersal, whatever she wants to do with it. Regeneration. She can regenerate just like plants can regenerate. She can regenerate any parts of her limbs, things like that. She's extremely long-lived. They don't use the word immortal, but as long as she has sunlight, right, she can continue to regenerate herself.
Shit.
Now, darkness and cold are her enemies.
Yeah.
So she was involved with the Court of Owls, and you know how the Court of Owls, you know, you got to stop them, you got to fucking freeze them, right? Well, she's kind of affected the same way. However, if she's subjected to extreme cold, she goes into like a plant, like a hibernation thing. You know, like in the wintertime, plants, they fucking shrink, they go on the ground or whatever, but they come back in the summer. Well, kind of the same thing with her. So that means that she can withstand colder temperatures than most people because it doesn't actually kill her. She goes into like a coma.
Yeah.
You know,
coma break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toxikinesis, which is she has an overdose of animal and plant-based toxins in her blood that she can, you know, deliver through touch.
Yeah.
She's immune to pretty much any toxin, except it sounds like more animal-based, like frog toxin, but any bacteria, virus, whatever, she's immune to any of that. That's the delivery, the immunity, vulnerability to cold, darkness. She needs sunlight, so you put her in the dark. She'll kind of have, it's kind of the same effect of like if Superman was brought up in a cave or some bullshit, he would be severely underpowered. Yeah. But you put him in the sun, that's where he's going to get his powers from. Let me see. Actually, that's a lot. So you know how Batman takes his utility belt around? Mm-hmm. You'll often see her with vines. Okay. Either wrapped around her arm or in a pocket or some bullshit. Yeah. She can use those as weapons. Sure. So she can actually weaponize vines, either grow them extremely fast or use them as like darts and all this other kind of shit. She uses this to do things like create tunnels. She'll use roots to dig holes so she can escape, like out of Arkham. Yeah. She's taken down an entire building with vines. Just crazy shit. So again, if she were in Marvel, I would put her as a what do we call them? Omega. Omega mutant. Yeah. Because she literally has planetary control. Shit. She wanted everybody to live in a utopia. So just like the M. Night Shyamalan movie where the plants took over.
Yeah.
She did some shit like that. She literally took control of the every human on the planet by having plants release these pheromones, and also in the food that they ate.
Yeah.
Well, for mind control. Now, of course, who broke out of this shit? Bruce Wayne, Batman, right?
Yeah.
So he injected himself and Selena Kyle, Catwoman, with this serum to thwart, this thing.
Got it.
Guess what she does? She gets Superman and Wonder Woman to fucking watch over Batman and Selena Kyle and keep them in place, right? So she couldn't take them over with these pheromones. So she put the two most powerful people on the planet to fucking babysit them, which they did.
Right.
So one time Batman went out to like stop her from doing all this shit. And she had her plants hold Batman down. Batman starts taunting her, right? What'd she do? She has Superman. She was so pissed she had Superman smack the shit out of Batman. Killed him.
Yeah.
Killed him, just fucking smashed his face or whatever. But she felt so bad about it, because her whole thing has always been, she's an eco-terrorist, but her whole thing has always been, the promotion of plants. She's done for plants what PETA does for animals or whatever, right? Yeah. So she felt bad about killing Batman.
Well, they kill animals.
Sure they do. Well, you got to kill them to get the fur so you can show people what not to do.
True.
So she kills Batman. She feels bad about it, and then she gets up with some doctors or whatever. I think Flash too. I don't know. I forget how some Speed Force shit. Anyway, brings Bruce back alive.
Yeah.
Bruce wakes up. He wakes up to Harley Quinn, who's nursing him back to health. Batman realizes that Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are lovers and they're bonding together. So he convinces Harley Quinn to talk down Poison Ivy, releases everybody on the planet, which is the only way that it happened, and everything kind of returns back to normal. But being able to control at the molecular level, every plant on the planet, that's an Omega level mutant to me.
Absolutely.
But anyway, there's so much other shit. I think a very interesting person. You look at him, you don't think that much about him, but she can do a lot. She's had animated shit. She was played by Uma Thurman in Batman's 1997. Yep. Batman and Robin. Very powerful character. I would love to see more of her. I'd love to see more of her and Harley Quinn. Yeah. Things like she was part of Birds of Prey. So she's also kind of like Doom, where she'll do some shit that's kind of like good. Yeah. But only
she walks the line
until it serves her own purpose. Yeah. Which she screwed over the Birds of Prey. She was asked to be part of that team. She fucking manipulated them through the pheromones to like kill off corporations that were her enemies. Then they figured that shit out, and then Katana took her out. So very interesting character, very powerful character. Would love to see more of her. Poison Ivy.
As you're going through that, there is a handful of moments, not even just comic, but moments in Batman content that stand out that involve Poison Ivy. You have the Long Halloween. Remember when she takes over Batman? She's literally at the Wayne man. She's at Wayne. Right. No, Bruce Wayne. She takes over.
Right. Has Lucius Fox saved all that bullshit? Was having all of his corporations, everything signed over to her. Yep.
There's that. There's the animated series episodes where Harvey Dent's still Harvey Dent, and she tricks him into falling in love with her because of the same, in Hush, people, when we said that the X-Men would destroy the Justice League, they were all like, read a comic, and you can't mind control Superman. In Hush, she fucking controlled him with some lipstick.
Everybody's controlled Superman at one point. There was a plant that he picked up from another planet he had in the Fortress of Solitude. That thing got out. That was controlling him. Right. They don't even know how long this thing was controlling him.
So we saw Pamela Isley do that in Hush. Remember, Superman was her little boy toy for a minute? Yep. There's in the Arkham game, in Arkham Knight, when you talk about controlling plants worldwide, she takes over the city, and she's figured out a way to make these giant plants that are now busting through the streets and literally taking over the fucking world. So there's been plenty of awesome moments with her. As much as Batman and Robin is a shit show of a movie, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy is one of the better parts of that movie. So yeah, I would love to see some Poison Ivy. I'd love to see her done right in live action.
Right.
You know, you better cast the right fucking person to play her too. You know, be coming in with no Lois Lane type casting on that shit.
No.
So
Taylor Swift. Seriously.
Yeah.
Taylor, I think she could pull it off. Or Dazzler.
Yeah, I say more Dazzler. I think we need someone with a little more. So let's put it that way. All right.
I understand.
Another 5-star hidden gem, Adrian.
Thanks, sir.
I was not expecting Poison Ivy. But that was awesome. Good stuff. We are gonna wrap this up with agree to disagree like we do every week. And this is where it's pretty simple. Rules are simple. These are my opinions, my takes, as they say. My take on that is, bitch, nobody asked you your take. Shut the fuck up. But then again, who asked me my take? Nobody.
Right.
But we have this podcast, so I get to give my take, just like you get to do the hidden gem. You get different fucking leeways when you have a podcast, Adrian. You can do things that people that don't have a podcast can't. Or they could if they really wanted to. And that's the message today. It's a positive message. You do whatever the fuck you want to do.
That's it.
What I want to do right now is play agree to disagree. You want to play agree to disagree?
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it. Yeah.
Let's go.
No one's going to stop us. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Number 1. Avengers, this is a prediction, by the way. Avengers versus X-Men is happening in Avengers Doomsday.
Say that again?
Avengers versus X-Men is happening in Avengers Doomsday.
Oh, okay. Agree.
In a real fight is funny to say, X-Men would beat the Avengers.
Agree.
Scarlet Witch would wipe the floor with Sentry.
With most things. Agree.
Yes. We don't need Avatar 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever the fuck.
Or 3. Agree.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day is James Cameron's best movie.
Disagree.
James Gunn's Superman is the GOAT of Superman movies.
No. Disagree.
Okay. Fantastic Four First Steps is the GOAT of Fantastic Four movies.
I agree with that.
Batman Year One, the comic, is the only Batman origin story we need.
Agree.
Don't need to fucking see it again. Knock the shit off. The Long Halloween is the best Batman story in all of comics. That's a bold claim.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah.
I would disagree because I haven't read all the Batman comics.
And then last but not least, anybody watching this TikTok right now should shut their fucking mouth. No, I'm just playing. They should stop this video and go subscribe to the YouTube because that's where the real shit happens.
Absolutely.
Go to our YouTube page.
Well, that's one of the things they should be doing when it comes to only comics.
Yes. For today. Do that today. We'll start there.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the YouTube. Check out the full show. A lot of fun on the channel. We got this. We got other stuff. We got a new show. Well, I have a new show, Mic Check. You never know what the fuck's going to happen.
Never know.
You never know. But all we know is that our time today has come to an end.
Yes.
On Only Comics. I know it's sad, guys. Don't worry.
Right.
We'll be back next week.
I'm tearing up.
You'll be here next week?
I'll be here next week.
I'll be here next week.
At least my intent is to be.
Yeah, your intent is. Yeah.
There's I have no idea where I'll be next week.
We have limited control over that.
There you go.
But we'll do our best to be back here next week
on
Only Comics for all of you. Really for us. I mean, it's really why we started
That's
this.
really what it is.
Yes. And then if you happen to be entertained by it, then that's a double bonus right there. But anyways, Adrian, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely, man.
We got other stuff dropping on Wednesday. Actually, I'm sorry, that's dropping now Tuesday. And then Mic Check's dropping Wednesday. So on other stuff, yeah, dude, I'm a busy guy.
Man,
Adrian.
Somebody takes some of this dude's time away. He's got too much time creating all these shows.
I think so, dude. Wow. I'm trying to do 8 podcasts a week now. But on other stuff, we are going to get into, we're going to do another flashback. We're going to 1994, Adrian.
All right.
I'm going to talk a little bit more about this multiverse, the House of M, all that stuff. And I don't even know what you have. Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll find out on other stuff. Adrian, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely.
Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go to onlycomicsmerch.com. Support the show. We will see you next week right here on Only Comics.
Peace.